Douluo, Star Officials Challenge, everyone is stronger than Tang San. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author, we do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Period. It also shows that this chicken feather will disappear when the emperor is born. Little San, how do you know this? Old Jack looked at Tang San and remembered his childhood there. Old Jack kept shaking his head while holding his cane, and said, "No, I'm not going anywhere. I'm the village head of Holy Soul Village, and I can't do without me here." Tang San rolled his eyes. He stepped forward and took Old Jack's hand and said, "Grandpa Jack, my dad and I know a rich businessman. It's specialized in vegetable business. My father and I will take you there to find him now, if you can talk about it. From now on, all the fruits and vegetables in our Holy Soul Village, he can buy them all. At that time, people in the village will be able to make money, have a good life." Grandpa Jack, what do you think? Old Jack was very excited when he heard this. Okay, little three, I didn't expect you and Tang Hao to know rich businessmen. It's so rare that you can still think about the villagers after you have been away for so many years. Let's get on the road quickly. Don't make the other party wait too long. Tang San nodded and looked at his father. Tang Hao immediately condensed powerful soul power. Under the terrified expression of Old Jack, the three of them flew out of the Holy Soul Village wrapped in him. P.S. The fourth update, April 4th, 2,745,308,604 friends who are interested can come in. Chapter 39 Jin Daoli went to the Star Official Challenge platform. Gu Rongchen fell in love with each other and killed each other for a lifetime. Looking forward to Tang San Xiao Wuhan City, Pope's Palace. Enshrined to Jin Daoliu, the master of the hall, and Bibi Dong, the head of the Pope's Palace. The two gathered here. In front of them are the 8 titled Douluo of Wuhun Temple. There was also Liena, who is seriously injured and unconscious, and Qianjin are the 3 enshrined in the hall of enshrinement. They suffered serious injuries overall. It seemed that the injuries were not as serious as the other 5. Pope Bibi Dong watched his beloved apprentice seriously injured and unconscious holding the gemstone scepter in his right hand. He trotted over worriedly, shouted, "Nana, how could you be so seriously injured?" The soul power was unstable due to the shock. Then he breathed a sigh of relief. Soon Bibi's face became extremely ugly. The 8 titled Douluo of the dignified spirit hall. He would come back seriously injured. When did Wuhandian have such a terrifying and powerful enemy? Did he offended the guy who claimed to be a star officer? Yuguan, Giga, Shenglong and others looked at each other. Shenglong clutched his chest and took a step forward and said, "It's not the senior who made the big sacrifice. Yes, it's Tang Hao from the Clear Sky School." Jin Daoliu and Bibi Dong were shocked at the same time. Bibi Dong blurted out coldly, "What? It turned out that Tang Hao forced you into this state. Damn it, he has grown to such a state in 3 years. It must be killed as soon as possible, or there will be endless troubles." After finishing the words, she looked at Jin Daoliu with something in mind. Jin Daoliu is the ruling elder of Wuhun Temple, obliged to eradicate all powerful enemies for Wuhandian. Jin Daoliu frowned and sneered secretly. The reason why he never made a shot all these years. He just didn't want Bibi Dong to find any chance to sneak attack. Otherwise, the entire angel family will suffer. This vicious woman must be on guard. He waved his sleeves and said in a low voice, 3 years ago Tang Hao made a big fuss in Wuhan City, Excellency the Pope. At the beginning, Jiang Mo and I found Tang Hao in the Star Dao forest. He was indeed injured at the time, but he tried his best to injure the 3 of us. But Tang Hao will definitely die. He paused at this point. He clenched his fist tightly, and said with hatred in his voice, "However, later Tang Hao accepted the Star Officials Challenge. Complete the challenge by chance and get a 9-turn Great Return pill. After taking it, it not only recovers all injuries and returns to the peak, the soul power has also been raised from level 95 to level 96, during the period." The saint asked Senior not to give the reward to Tang Hao. "How could I be knocked out by Zhenfei?" Senior also said, "The life and death of Wuhandian has nothing to do with him. He is only responsible for starting the Star Official Challenge for those who get lucky star feathers every day." Further back, let's gather the strength of 8 people. I want to join forces to kill Tang Hao and eliminate harm for Wuhan Hall. It's just Tang Hao who brought us into the core area. I met the 2 forest overlords, the Titan Giant Ape and the Azure Bull Python. In the end, we and Tang Hao were injured separately. I can only give up and leave for the time being. That's the way things are going. Bibi Dong showed anger, looking at the apprentice in her arms. Said in a soft voice, the person who hurt Nana turned out to be senior. I didn't expect Tang Hao to get the lucky star feather and accept the star official's challenge. If this person is not eradicated, my spirit hall will never have a peaceful day. At this time, Jin Daoliu's eyes flashed an imperceptible joy, and he said angrily, in that case, the old man will go out for a walk. Let's meet the rumored star official challenge. If we can meet Tang Hao, we will kill him in one fell swoop. The next moment, Jin Daoliu turned into golden light and disappeared and placed the A-title Douluo left one after another. Bibi Dong hurriedly took her apprentice Liena back to heal her injuries. Heaven Dao City, Shrek Academy. A man came to Zhao Waoqi's room late at night. He reached out and knocked on the door. Respectfully shouted, Teacher Zhao, I am Qin Ming. After a while the door was opened. Zhao Waoqi saw Qin Ming showing a smile. Came to find me so late. Is there something urgent? Zhao Wuji asked. Empire, go there to accept the Star Officer's challenge. Come here to bid farewell to Mr. Zhao? Zhao Waoqi stared at Xingyu with an envious and excited expression. He lightly happily and said, Qin Ming, congratulations on getting the lucky star feather. To go and come back quickly, so as not to cause accidents. Qin Ming put away Xingyu and bowed deeply and said, Teacher Zhao, don't worry, after accepting the Star Official's challenge, I will rush back immediately. Farewell. Then, he turned and walked away quickly. Zhao Wuji looked at Qin Ming's back. The right hand Moswo touched his rough face, murmured, Lucky Xingai was really a good thing. I don't know when Zhao Waoqi, will be selected. Then the door was slammed shut. 7 Treasures Glazed Tile School. Inside the glazed tile hall, Ning Fengzi and Chen Xin walked in. Here he just came back from meeting Emperor Ziyi in Yondao Palace. Bongdaluo Gurong strode towards the two with his hands behind his back. The voice was quite excited and said, Fengzi hi, cowardly man, you two are finally back. Today Tang Hao, Liu Erlong, and Duke Long are 3. Both go up to the Star Officials to challenge the Golden Monument. Hurry up and tell the ins and outs of the matter. Ning Fengzi glanced at Chen Xin. Then at Gurong. Recover Tang Hao from his injuries and return to the peak with 1 enemy in 8 battles against the title Douluo of the Wuhun Temple. Duke Long's soul power was upgraded 3 levels in a row to obtain 100,000 years soul bone. Liu Erlong obtained the mutated Haoshan martial soul pill. In the end, Feng Zai Ocean was rewarded with a B+ rating after giving Ho Wu the fruit of his aptitude. He told everything about how his innate soul power soared to level 30. Gurong clicked his tongue in amazement and listened with gusto, laughed and said, Haoshan Douluo is still as proud as ever to fight against Yunshan, invincible. Now the strength has improved. But the Wuhan Hall has a headache. Lucky Xingai was really a good thing. When will I, Gurong, get one? Then I can accept the Star Official's challenge, break through the limit of my strength, and surpass you, a cowardly man. Chen Xin stared over with sharp eyes. The momentum between the two intensified. Ning Fengzi saw that they were about to fight again. Quickly persuaded, Uncle Jian, Uncle Gu, the spies outside the sect report back. The Star Official challenge ring appeared in the Donggayu soul hunting forest of the Star Luo Empire. We should have discussed a matter of departure earlier. Gurong's aura disappeared, and he embraced it with both hands. He squinted at Chen Xin and said coldly, Council, this time it's your turn to stay in the sect. I will accompany Fengzi to Donggayu soul hunting forest. Chen Xin turned and walked out of the glazed palace and said, Follow you. Gurong puffed out his chest and said excitedly to himself, I watch the sky at night, and it turns around recently. Maybe this lucky star feather is my chance. Must be more familiar with the Star Officials. Maybe I'll get lucky star feather next time. Suddenly, Chen Xin's cold voice sounded in his ear. Daydreaming. The corner of Gurong's mouth twitched. Looking at Chen Xin, who was going away, he snorted coldly, Cowardly man, you wait for me. After I get the lucky star feather, accept the Star Officer's challenge and come back. I must make you look good. It's a shame. Chen Xin replied again, accompany me at any time. Ning Fengzi beside him helplessly helped his 40 watch these two old guys fight for a lifetime, fall in love and kill each other for a lifetime. If the two of them can get the lucky star feather, it will be a great joy for the 7 Treasure Glazed Tile School, Star Luo Empire. Donggayu Soul Hunting Forest. Lin Feng stood on the ring and moved his body. He looked towards the east and said, although this Donggayu Soul Hunting Forest is within the territory of the Star Luo Empire, but it borders on the Star Dao Forest, I don't know if the soft-bone rabbit Xiao will come to accept the challenge from the Star Official. Will Zhu's Huking and Daimyu Bei come here after hearing the news? Will old Jack show up? If Xiao Wu comes, Will Tang San also be nearby? I don't think so much anymore. Whether these people come or not has nothing to do with me. As long as you stick to it for 10 years, I will be able to obtain the ultimate power of Douluo. Lin Feng turned around and walked into the compartment. Go to bed after showering for him. The daily work intensity is still too great. PS. The first update, 1/5. The author has worked hard, adding one more update every day. Everyone supports it. Chapter 40. Yu Xiaogang has grown physically. Dai Mubei and Zhu Zhuqing meet Qin Ming. Here comes Xiaoyu in Heaven Dao City. Somewhere in an inn, one was wearing a black gown. A man with fair skin and plump breasts sat by the bed. A look of lovelessness. Yu Xiaogang reached out and touched his lower body. The masculine symbol of a man is still there. But he looked down at Shen Dian on his chest. Period. No feet in sight. He almost has the heart to die. Yu Xiaogang was on his way to Xiandao City. He was also followed by several men trying to plot something wrong. If it wasn't for the pink Haoshan hammer that he got, it was quite powerful. He may have been insulted early on. Yu Xiaogang's appearance is no longer as rough as before. Turned into a delicate woman, although it looks young, but the victory lies in fair skin, big breasts and pretty waist like a half-aged mistress. The charm still exists. Liu Erlong, I hate you. Yu Xiaogang was so that he roared hoarsely. But the voice that came out was a gentle female voice. He was so scared that he quickly shut up. Clenching his hands into orchids, his fingers trembled in front of him. After a long time, he let out a heavy breath. The slender white and tender right hand condensed a pink Haoshan hammer. Jiao smiled and said, "You little thing made me like this, but the power it possesses is stronger than the ordinary clear sky hammer. It's kind of useful. Wait for me to go to the hunting forest to fuse the soul ring. From now on, I, Yu Xiaogang, can get rid of the reputation of being a trash. I want to prove myself to the sect and to the world." Yu Xiaogang gently stroked the pink Haoshan hammer. Even he didn't notice. I have gradually adapted and accepted the changes in my body. Withdrawing his martial spirit, he rested on the bed, but the heavy lying on the chest will lean to the sides. I can only sleep on my side all the time, which is very uncomfortable. Shrek Academy. Ma Hongjin just came back from a tryst with some beautiful schoolgirls today. Not only his martial soul has evolved into 9-headed fire phoenix with strength soared to level 55 Soul King, even his appearance has become extremely handsome. I am harassed by many schoolgirls every day. Ma Hongjin finally realized the troubles of the handsome guy. It's just this waist that I can't bear. Back in the room, he was lying on the side of the bed in a big character, looking at the attack in the sky to challenge the golden monument. Excitedly smiled and said, "As long as it is before today's midnight, keep attack and challenge for the first place in the golden monument. At that time, you will be rewarded with an A+ rating. Again, I'm afraid you are no longer my opponent." Mo Hongjin subconsciously rubbed his nose to play handsome. "I just remembered that there is no girl here, so I fell asleep." Star Luo Empire, Dongaiyu Soul Hunting Forest. A man and a woman rode on a black horse. The woman was plump, with a black horse between her long legs, wearing a black tights. Outline the already hot figure with a charming arc. The man had noble blonde hair, slender and manly, especially those evil eyes gives a very wild feeling. Dai Mubei glanced at the map in his hand, and said, "Zhuqing, the rumored star official is challenging the ring. It should be not far ahead. This time we are here on the orders of our father. Be sure to confirm the authenticity of the star official's challenge." Zhu Zhuqing pulled the rein while looking at the attack challenge golden monument in the sky. Fake. These days, not only the entire Douluo Continent is buzzing with rumors, even Ma Hongjin went to attack to challenge the golden monument. I heard that his martial soul has evolved into an ancient alien species of 9-headed fire phoenix. I also got a 90,000-year old 5th spirit ring. The soul power has soared to level 55 Soul King, which is really enviable, Dai Mubei said with a slightly condensed face. "Zhuqing, what you said are all rumors. We'll know if the star official's challenge is true or not." Drive. For the past 3 years, Dai Mubei and Zhu Zhuqing have been cultivating desperately. That's why he has level 54 soul power. Now Zhu Zhuqing has level 52 soul power. They knew that Ma Hongjin was lazy. He must be too busy talking about love and not practicing well. If it is really because of accepting the star official challenge, Wuhan evolved and obtained a 90,000-year spirit ring. Soul power soared to level 55. It was worse than killing him. As the two went deep into the Dongaiyu Soul Hunting Forest, the surrounding spirit beasts gradually increased. But they are all easily solved by some 1,000-year-old soul beasts. The number of soul masters who appeared nearby also increased. After about half an hour, From a distance, Daimyo Bei and Zhu Zhuking saw a huge arena sky. Both of them showed shocked eyes. Look at each other. This should be the rumored Star Official Challenge ring. At this time, a man's excited voice came from the side. Daimyo Bei, Zhu Zhuking, I didn't expect to meet you here. Daimyo Bei and Zhu Zhuking looked over. It was discovered that it was a man wearing the costume of a Shrek Academy teacher. The two jumped off the black horse with happy faces. He greeted him excitedly and shouted, "Senior Qin Ming." Qin Ming looked at the two people in front of him and nodded in satisfaction, smiled and said, "I haven't seen you in 3 years. The strength of the two of you, there has been a lot of improvement. It seems that the cultivation is very hard, and there is no waste. If the dean and the others know, they will definitely be very pleased." Daimyo Bei and Zhu Zhuking clasped their fingers tightly. Difficult. Daimyo Bei seemed to think of something. Looking at Qin Ming curiously asked, "Senior Qin Ming, why did you come to Dongaiyu Soul Hunting Forest? Could it be the way of experience here?" Qin Ming shook his head and smiled, looking at the arena exuding mysterious power. With excitement in his eyes, he said, "Period. I'm here to accept the Star Officials Challenge." Immediately, he took out Lucky Star Feather and continued, "This is the Lucky Star Feather I got last night." After learning that the Star Official challenged the arena in Dongaiyu Soul Hunting Forest, he drove over all night. Senior hasn't appeared yet. Wait a little longer. Daimyo Bei and Zhu Zhuking stared at Lucky Zingayu in surprise. The two looked at Qin Ming in shock. Daimyo Bei couldn't help asking, "Senior Qin Ming, there are rumors about that kid Ma Hongjin. Accept the Star Officers Challenge to get a reward? The Wuhun Evil Fire Phoenix can evolve into 9-headed Fire Phoenix, obtain a 90,000-year Spirit Ring. The soul power has skyrocketed to level 55. Are these all true?" Qin Ming nodded. He saw that Daimyo Bei and Zhu Zhuking didn't know much about the Star Officials Challenge, so patiently explained to the two of them. Daimyo Bei and Zhu Zhuking were shocked after hearing this. There really is such a miraculous thing on Douluo Continent. As long as you accept the Star Officials Challenge, you can get a great opportunity. Now he even has a God-level martial soul and a 30-level innate soul power. 100,000-year soul bone, 100,000-year soul ring bestowed by God. Shao Dan and other things have come out. It's incredible. At the same time, the two are very happy to get the Lucky Star Feather. Qin Ming envied Ma Hongjin, who accepted the Star Officials Challenge. They have worked hard for 3 years. But it couldn't be compared with the rewards Ma Hongjin received at all. My heart was more or less hit. How I wish I could also be qualified to accept the Star Officers Challenge. 10,000 at an extremely fast speed, still incrementing. It made the area around the ring impenetrable. Crowds of people surged, and all kinds of hustle and bustle sounded one after another. Everyone looked excited and their spirits were running high, telling each other about the deeds of the Star Officers Challenge in the past few days. There is a hint of envy in the words. However, at this moment, the earth shook violently. Of terrifying soul beast aura is coming from the east. Obviously, there are a large number of soul beasts approaching here. Among them, there are 2 soul power breaths that can be called terrifying. Reached the astonishing 100,000-year level. Such a sudden situation caused everyone in the audience to look pale. Everyone fled in panic, make a sound of fear and spread it. No one would have thought that there would be a beast tied here without warning. There are still 100,000 years of soul beasts to appear. Daimyo Bei and Qin Ming got on the dark horse. Zhu Zhuking also got on his horse. The 3 hurried towards the direction outside Dongaiyu Hunting Soul Forest. About a few minutes passed. 2 100,000-year-old soul beasts with a size of 100 meters appeared. With a roar, all the nearby trees were blown away. A flat land was revealed. One of the 100,000-year-old soul beasts has the head of a bull and the body of a snake. A pair of indifferent eyes were the size of a lantern. It exudes a blue domineering soul power breath. The other 100,000-year-old soul beast was similar to magma. It is an ancient alien species of ape. The huge body contains unparalleled strength. It seems to be able to destroy the sky and destroy the earth, making it invincible. 1,000-year-old soul beasts that followed orderly like an army, standing by for orders. These 200,000-year soul beasts. It was from the core area of the starred out great forest: the Titan giant ape, the king of the forest, and the azure bull python, the king of the forest. At this moment, it is on the shoulders of Erming Titan giant ape, one with a cute scorpion braid. The beautiful girl in crystal boots is shaking her legs looking at the arena below. He smiled and said, "Star Official Challenge, Xiao Wu is here." P.S. The second update, February 5th. Chapter 41. Xiao Wu meets her good friend and starts a spiritual challenge. Her mental power is comparable to title Douluo Star Luo Empire, Dongaiyu Soul Hunting Forest. The breath of 100,000-year soul beasts suddenly appeared. Shocked, the countless soul masters gathered, fleeing wildly in all directions. No one knows why there are 100,000-year-old soul beasts in this small Dongyu soul hunting forest of the ring. The palm of the Titan great ape was on the ground. Xiao Wu jumped down from above, got it to the edge of the ring. She first turned around the entire arena, then looked at the empty futon in the center of the ring. The little face was a little unhappy and muttered, "I managed to get here from the starred out great forest. Take such a big risk. Where's that guy who calls himself a star official? There is actually a formation protection, simply unshakable at this time." The Titan great ape said, "Miss Wu, you step back, let me break this formation." Saying that, its huge fist has been raised high. Xiao Wu's face changed slightly, and she quickly stopped her and said, "Erming, stop quickly. It should be that the time has not come yet. Let's wait high-level soul beasts to come here this time. Every extra delay is more dangerous. If it can be before the people from Wuhan arrive." Xiao Wu accepts the star official's challenge and leaves. It could not be better. Suddenly, a woman's excited voice came from a distance. "Xiao Wu, it's you, Senior Kinming from Shrek Academy." Zhuking, Daimyo Bei, Senior Kinming. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story, and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Period. I didn't expect you to be here. Xiao Wu happily ran over. The scorpion braid behind her was swaying, very much like her current. "Xiao Wu, long time no see. In the past 3 years, how have you been?" Zhuking smiled and said, "Zhuking, these 3 years, I'm always with my soul beast friend. Look, it's Erming, it's Daming," Xiao Wu said while pointing to the Titan giant ape and azure bull python in the distance to introduce them. Ape, the king of the forest, was her good friend. Think back to when the Titan great ape captured Xiao Wu in the starred out great forest. Now Zhuking and Daimyo Bei finally figured it out. Xiao Wu looked at Daimyo Bei, then at Kinming and said enthusiastically, "Boss Dai, long time no see." "Hello, Senior Kinming," Daimyo nodded and said. "Xiao Wu, then, why did you appear in Dongyu soul hunting forest? Where did Xiao-san go?" Xiao Wu Xiang's eyes dimmed sight and said, "Back then, my mistress and I were rescued by Uncle Tang. Uncle Tang asked me to return to the starred out forest when I woke up. It's before Xiao-san has enough strength. If the two of us are together, we will only hurt each other. Back to the starred out forest separately from Xiao-san. Little Sandy's years should be with Uncle Tang." Zhuking saw Xiao Wu's sad expression. Holding her hand, he said softly, "Xiao Wu, don't worry, third brother is with Haoshan Douluo, he will be fine." Daimyo Bei said at this time, "Xiao Wu, I have some good news for you. Yesterday, Haoshan Douluo accepted the challenge from the star officials in the inner circle of the Star Dao Forest. Obtaining a 9-turn great return pill can restore the injury, the strength returned to the peak and it was upgraded to level 96. With my own strength, I fought against the 8-titled Douluo elders of the Spirit Hall and repelled him. It is conceivable how powerful Haoshan Douluo is now. It must not be long before you and Xiao-san will be able to be together openly and above board." Xiao Wu recalled what happened yesterday. It was she who discovered that Tang Hao asked Daming Erming to do it. Kinming looked Xiao Wu up and down, asked with a smile, "Xiao Wu, those friends of yours specially escorted you here. You won't also get Lucky Star Feather. Come here to accept the Star Officer's challenge." Xiao Wu took out a Lucky Star Feather and said with a giggle, "Yes, Senior, Lucky Star Feathers are so precious. Of course I can't pass up such an opportunity in vain, so I came over with my best friend. Seems that we can accept the Star Officer's challenge together today, to win glory for Shrek Academy." Xiao Wu never thought that Kinming would also have Lucky Zengyu. So the two began to communicate about the various star official challenges they had opened in the past few days. Exchange experiences and be fully prepared. This made Zhuking and Daimyo Bei next to him envious and beating its back. The sky blue bull python was always vigilant about its surroundings, not daring to be negligent. The situation here is seen by those soul masters who dare not approach from afar. They couldn't believe that humans could live in peace with spirit beasts. Soon someone recognized them as members of Shrek Academy. Recognized the two super 100,000-year soul beasts. They are Titan giant ape and azure bull python from starred out great forest. This shocked everyone even more out for a while. He found something was wrong. The surroundings seemed to be a bit too quiet and there was no one in sight, but when he looked in the direction of the east, what came into view were two huge monsters with a height of 100 meters. There are countless soul beasts densely packed behind. These guys are all staring at themselves. Fuck, what's going on? Did I go to the zoo when I woke up? Aren't this monkey and a snake with water chestnut too big? Lin Feng finally came to his senses. A light breath of 100,000-year soul beast. Could it be the Titan giant ape, an azure bull python from starred out Great Forest? Is Xiao Wu here? He became interested all of a sudden. As a Douluo fan, she has a different kind of feeling for the soft-bone rabbit Xiao Wu. Lin Feng went to the futon and sat down. Then I saw a few figures appearing under the ring. Hi, senior, you finally came out. Hurry up and start the star official challenge for us. Xiao Wu saw a silver-haired man coming out of the cubicle. Hastily came to the edge of the formation, waved and shouted. She found that the other party was really handsome. A little more handsome than Tang San. Zhu Huqing, Daimyu Bei, and Qin Ming followed. Feng saw the young woman with scorpion braids at a glance. He guessed that the other party was Rao Gu to Xiao Wu. It was discovered that Xiao Wu was entirely based on her own aesthetics. Set pure, cute and one. The proper type of sister next door. He looked at another beautiful woman next to him. The black tights wrapped her proud figure. As long as the charming figure is a normal man, he can't help but look at it a few more times. This is the sexy Yuji type. Zhuqing, the ghost civet. Period. It is also his favorite type. Lin Feng was excited without changing his face. He said, since you're here, come up and accept the Star Officer's challenge. Go up first. Xiao Wu nodded, looking at Zhu Huqing and Daimyu Bei. Excitedly said, I'm going up. Then, she stretched out her hand to touch the ring formation. It was found that the fingers went straight through. With a smile on his little face, he jumped onto the ring. Zhu Huqing shouted under the ring, Xiao Wu, come on, up gesture. Then he slowly came to the front of the futon. When looking closely at the silver-haired man in front of him, Xiao Wu's eyes light up slightly, a little bewildered. But she recovered and bowed respectfully and said, Xiao Wu, meet senior. I got lucky star feather last night, so come here and accept the Star Officer's challenge. You? Xiao Wu was fascinated by this man's handsome smile again. Hastily shook his head and looked unnaturally. He took a deep breath and said, yes, senior. She took out lucky star feather and injected it with soul power. Feather, Zengai will give you a rating based on your mental strength. Let's start. An excited smile appeared on Xiao Wu's face. Her main body is a 100,000-year soft-bone rabbit. Although transformed, the spiritual power is still there. A 100,000-year soul beast is comparable to title Douluo PS, the third update, 3/5. Chapter 42. Kind Aolio is here. The agreement with the Beast God Edition. Xiao Wu won the B rating super reward swinging pill. The author admits his mistake first. Xiao Wu lost his spiritual power after taking shape. But because the plot requires me to write here, the spiritual power is still there, and I hope to forgive me for fanfiction. On the ring, Xiao Wu confidently raised her head. He bowed to the silver-haired man on the futon and said, yes, senior, but just as she was about to gather her mental strength, when the challenge begins. Suddenly, a powerful breath of soul power flew from a distance slightly because of the strength of this soul power breath. He even reached title Douluo. The Titan giant ape and azure bull python looked up. Ming said in a heavy voice, Miss Wu, be careful, a title Douluo level soul master is coming this way. Daming also said, Miss Wu, there is only one title Douluo. You continue to accept the Star Officer's challenge, leave the rest to me and Ming. 200,000-year soul beasts. Hundreds of thousand-year-old soul beasts are on standby at any time. The war is imminent. Xiao Wu looked in the direction of the breath. She recognized a person coming from the sky. Ning Fengzi, the suzerain of the 7 treasure-glazed tile school. And Bone Douluo ancient banyan impulsive, they are not enemies. Daming and Ming looked at Xiao Wu in doubt. Nodding his head, he calmed down his breath. Ming raised his huge right palm high. Hundreds of thousand-year-old soul beasts dancing wildly behind them fell silent. Under the ring, Daimyu Bei and Zhu Huqing. Qin Ming saw who was coming. Kiki saluted respectfully and shouted, greetings to Sect Master Ning, and His Majesty Bone Douluo. Ning Fengzi and Gu Rong landed on the edge of the ring. They looked at the 2 forest overlords in front of them. They all swallowed in shock. Look at the Titan giant ape and the azure bull python. Rao is based on the identity and status of the two at this moment. The mood is still not calm. Ning Fengzi looked at Zhu Huking and Daimyo Bei said with a smile, Zhu Huking, Daimyo Bei, after 3 years, your strength has improved a lot. It really deserves to be the Shrek 7 monsters who were able to defeat the Wuhundian team back then. Looking at Qin Ming again, he said, young Master Qin Ming has reached the realm of Soul Sage at such a young age. There will be a big achievement in the future. Qin Ming replied modestly, Sect Master Ning has won the prize. Daimyo Bei and Zhu Huking looked at each other and smiled. Daimyo Bei opened his mouth and said, Sect Master Ning, Senior Bone Douluo, are you also here to accept the Star Officer's challenge? Bone Douluo Gurong laughed and shook his head and said, I wish I had the qualifications. It's a pity that I was not selected by Lucky Xingyu. He looked towards the silver-haired man on the futon in the center of the ring. A look of awe and expectation. Gurong watched the sky at night and knew that his luck would turn around recently. Maybe he could be qualified to accept the Star Official Challenge. Ning Fengzi shook his head and said with a smile, I didn't get Lucky Xingyu either. Period. Did you all get lucky star feathers? He looked at Xiao Wu on the ring, his eyes narrowed slightly. Qin Ming said with a smile, Qin Ming is not talented, and he got a lucky star feather. Waiting for Xiao Wu to accept the Star Officer's challenge. Go up and accept the challenge. Ning Fengzi and Gurong paused. Are not bad. After accepting the Star Official Challenge and getting rewards, you will be able to reach a higher level. The situation near the arena was noticed by those soul masters who dared not approach from afar. I didn't expect people from the 7 Treasure Glazed Tile School. Unexpectedly, he would not be attacked by those 200,000-year soul beasts. Power of heaven instantly enveloped the entire Dongyu soul hunting forest. All soul masters and all soul beasts were suppressed. None were spared. It seems that has a machete in their hearts. Life could be lost at any time around the ring. 100,000-year soul beast, titan, giant ape, and azure bull python. Although everyone are reluctant in every possible way, but he was still suppressed by the spirit power that appeared. A huge body of 100 meters can't even move, crouching on the ground. Not to mention those 10 trembling 1,000-year soul beasts. All of them passed out on the other side. Ning Fengzi and Gurong, Daimyo Bei, Zhu Huking, Qin Ming, the 5 of them were suppressed, and the soul power in their bodies was still shocked. Terrified expressions appeared on everyone's face, especially Bone Douluo Gurong with level 95 soul power. He could clearly perceive the strength of this soul power reached the terrifying level 99. On the ring, Xiao Wu was protected by the power of the formation, not suppressed, but she really felt the horror of that soul power. Seeing 2 good friends, Daming and Erming, lose their ability to fight, Xiao Wu showed fear. She panicked. Daming, Erming, Boss Dai, Xuking, Senior Qin Ming, Sect Master Ning, Bone Douluo, are you guys okay? Feng said with a blank face. Xiao Wu, their lives are not in danger. Continue with your Star Officer challenge, otherwise, I will sentence you to fail the challenge. Xiao Wu looked at the silver-haired man in front of her. I was so anxious that I was at a loss for a while. Out he has blonde hair and an impassive complexion, born with a noble meaning, appears to be high above the top, giving people a lot of pressure. After Jin Daolio appeared, his body shook. The terrifying soul power covering the entire Dongyu soul hunting forest disappeared. He didn't take a second look at the soul beasts, such as the titan giant ape and the sky blue bull python. His pupils looked curiously at the silver-haired man on the futon. Then he said slowly, continue your Star Officer challenge. I'm just here to watch. The Star Officer's challenge is the patriarch of the Angel Clan, a peerless Douluo with soul power level 99. There was an agreement with the beast Gaudician that he could not attack the high-level soul beasts in the Star Dao Forest. This is an agreement between the 2 most powerful people. If anyone breaks the agreement, then the important personnel of one's own side will be ruthlessly slaughtered by the other party. With the release of coercion, all soul masters and soul beasts, everyone was relieved and terrified. His eyes stared fearfully at the person in the noble robe. Bone Douluo Gurong looked apprehensive, pulled Ning Fengzi to the side. Away from Jin Daolio, titan giant ape and azure bull python are like docile kittens prostrate on the ground with his head down. Zhu Huking and Daimyo Bei, Qin Ming saw this. He also stepped back cautiously. Most of the soul masters in the distance passed out under the coercion just now. Those who are still awake are all shocked. It can make 200,000-year soul beasts in level 95 title Douluo so fearful. What is the identity of the middle-aged man in the noble robe? How terrifying will the strength be? Lin Feng stared at Jin Daolio with the strength of this soul power. He had already guessed the other party's identity, the patriarch of the Angel Clan. A great enshrinement in the Wuhan Hall, the level 99 peerless Douluo known as the #1 person in the sky on the mainland, Jin Daoliu. The two looked at each other. Lin Feng found that this guy did not have any hostility. On the contrary, there's joy and kindness in the eyebrows. I thought the Star Official Challenge was open for Tang Hao yesterday. As a result, the 8-titled Douluo of Wuhan Hall were seriously injured and embarrassed. Jin Daoliu came here to find trouble. Look at this posture. Do you want to please me? Lin Feng ignored him within the formation. He is an invincible existence even outside the formation. Jin Daoliu couldn't bear to walk around. He frowned and looked at Xiao Wu, who was in a daze. Angrily said in a cold voice, Xiao Wu, I'll give you the last 10 seconds. If you continue to waste time, then get out of here. Xiao Wu was quite frightened. He looked at Daming arming a few good friends under the ring and that middle-aged man in a noble robe. He bowed deeply and said fearfully, yes, senior. Immediately, Xiao Wu closed her eyes. At this moment, a dazzling light erupted from the forehead. A strong soft-bone rabbit breath was released. A huge pink soft-bone rabbit condensed on top of her head. It is completely formed by spiritual power. Its strength is comparable to title Douluo. Xiao Wu's forehead was covered with fine sweat, and her face became firm. He shouted in a low voice, let me go. The audience was filled with pink aurora, brilliant and bright. Period. Wait for the light to dissipate. Lucky Xingaiyu flew to Lin Feng and was put away. Xiao Wu clutched her chest, feeling very weak. But the mental power consumed is recovering at an extremely fast speed. Under the arena, Jin Daoliu saw this scene. His indifferent eyes showed excitement. Feng's mind, character, Xiao Wu, mental strength. 176,398 points, rating, B, reward, super revolving pill, super revolving pill. After taking title Douluo and below, the soul power will increase by 10 levels, and it will come with a 100,000-year soul ring. After the soul ring is absorbed, the soul power will be extended. Remarks, the super swing pill cannot be transferred and is valid for 1 month. PS, the 4th update, April 5th. Chapter 43. Xiao Wu shocked Jin Daoliu. Beware of Bibi Dong helping her granddaughter quickly become a god. Qin Ming launched an attack challenge on the ring. Xiao Wu came to the futon with a weak face. Looking at the silver-haired man, he saluted respectfully and said, Senior, I have completed the challenge. Not sure what rating I got. Lin Feng looked at Xiao Wu and said, Xiao Wu, congratulations on your mental strength. Achieved 176,398 points. Rated B. This rating is already the best among the younger generation. This is your reward, a super revolving pill. After taking it, the soul power of title Douluo and below will increase by 10 levels, and it comes with a 100,000-year soul ring. The super swing pill cannot be transferred and is valid for 1 month. After the words fell, a black ball of light appeared in his hand flying in front of Xiao Wu. It turned into Pil Doming and Erming, Dai Mu Bei. Zuz Huking Ning Feng Zi. Gurong. Everyone was really happy for Xiao Wu. Didn't expect her to be able to get a B rating. To know so far, the B rating was also obtained by Haoshin Douluo yesterday, and the super roundabout pill titled Douluo and below can increase the soul power by 10 levels and get a 100,000-year spirit ring. It is really enviable. It's a pity that this super roundabout pill cannot be transferred. Otherwise, let a contra with 89 level soul power take it. A 99 level peerless Douluo with a soul ring of 100,000 years can be created. Jin Daoliu stared at the super spinning pill with a shocked expression. Unleash your mental power to explore this elixir. But found to be blocked by a mysterious force. As one of the 3 peerless Douluo in the Douluo Continent couldn't accept the Angel Gout's position to attract people, an ordinary pill can have such a miraculous effect. Even though Jin Daoliu had heard the rumors about the Star Officials Challenge before, he still couldn't believe it. But the next moment, what happened in the ring? Jin Daoliu was stunned and shocked an instant. Xiao Wu's soul power aura skyrocketed from level 52, go all the way and reach level 60. Immediately, 5 soul rings of yellow, purple, and black rose from under his feet. The 6th red 100,000-year soul ring rose, exuding an extremely astonishing breath of soul power. It spread. Xiao Wu's soul power has been raised from level 60 again. It doesn't stop until level 62. Jin Daoliu was stunned by such an incredible scene. I feel that the 3 views are shattered. B-rated reward Super Swing Dan. It really has such an amazing effect. If it's A+, S+, SS+, even the rating reward of SSS+. How rich will it be? Is it possible to directly make an ordinary person a god? Jin Daoliu found that his thinking was getting more and more outrageous, but this is the most intuitive feeling given to him by the current Star Official Challenge. Jin Daoliu looked at the silver-haired man on the futon again. There was a sense of awe in the eyes. How I hope that my granddaughter Jinrixu will also have the opportunity to accept the challenge of the star official. There is only one thing that Jin Daoliu cares about. That is to watch the granddaughter cultivate Takantra, open the 9 trials of the angel god and pass it successfully, and inherit the position of the angel god. Jinrixu from becoming a god Jin Daoliu would kill without hesitation, and among them, he still needs to beware of one person, that is the current Pope Bibi Dong of Wuhun, and this vicious woman's resentment towards the angel family has never diminished, thinking about how to put him to death all the time, destroy the angel clan. Therefore, Jin Daoliu was not willing to eradicate Tang Hao all these years. There is this powerful enemy to check and balance Bibi Dong. This woman didn't put too much energy on destroying the angel family. Jin Daoliu also knew that Bibi Dong had started the 9 trials of Rakshasa God. Now the 8th test is under attack. If she is allowed to inherit the Rakshasa God position in advance, then the angel family is in danger. On the other hand, they couldn't take action to suppress Bibi Dong. If you do it first, you must lose both sides. Secondly, it may affect granddaughter Jinrixu's cultivation hard. In the end, it will lead to chaos inside the Wuhan Hall being taken advantage of by other forces. Jin Daoliu made a decision in his heart for granddaughter Jinrixu to become a god as soon as possible. Before Bibi Dong becomes a god, even if he pulls off this old face, he still has to get a chance for his granddaughter to accept the challenge from the star official on the ring. Xiao Wu's breath stabilized. She felt a red 100,000-year soul ring. There is also a soul power of level 62 in the body. The little face was full of smiles, excited. Hastily bowed deeply to the silver-haired man on the futon again. Saluted gratefully, sweetly shouted, Xiao Wu, thank you for the reward, Senior. Senior is not only handsome and capable, but also generous. He is simply the most perfect man in the world. Zhu's Huking and Daimyu Bei under the ring fort. It hasn't changed a bit in 3 years. But Xiao Wu, don't make fun of your seniors. People will die. Rabbits will die. Period. Lin Feng was not deceived by Xiao Wu's innocence. This is the 100,000-year-old demon king. It was only because of the reward he gave that he would say nice things. Lin Feng didn't change his face, and said, this is the reward you got for accepting the star official's challenge. Not my business. Now that you have received the reward, let's go down. Let's come up to accept the star officer others' challenge. Xiao Wu originally wanted to say something more. It's rare to be able to stay with such a strong man, not to get close. But she heard the voice of dissuasion from her good sister Zhu's Huking under the ring. I can only give up and say, yes, Senior. Then he jumped off the ring. Xiao Wu looked at Qin Ming excitedly and said, Senior Qin Ming, it's your turn, go up. Xiao Wu, I have received a B rating award, don't be worse than me. Qin Ming smiled bitterly and said, Xiao Wu, your spiritual power is so strong, I'm definitely not as good as you. Besides, I don't know what kind of challenges will be opened later. He treats Zhu's Huking and Daimyu Bei. Ning Fengzi, Gurong and the others nodded. Slowly walked onto the ring. Much calmer than Xiao Wu. Look quickly, you became the first place in the spiritual challenge golden monument. Liena has already been squeezed out of the top 3. From now on, she won't be able to get the golden monument reward. Xiao Wu looked up at the spirit to challenge her ranking on the golden tablet. I am very proud of standing upright. At the same time, I feel relieved that Liena was squeezed out of the top 3. Jin Daoliu looked at Qin Ming who was walking into the ring. I am quite envious. He stared at him curiously. What kind of challenge he would open? What kind of rating rewards will be obtained in the end? The Titan Giant Ape and the Azure Bull Python looked at each other and nodded. Duming leaned towards Xiao Wu and said in a low voice, Miss Wu, you have also accepted this star officer's challenge. Let's go back quickly to avoid accidents. But when it finished speaking, Jin Daoliu glared at him. He quickly put his head on the ground and shivered, and chose to shut up. Xiao Wu held the hand of her good sister Zhu's Huking. Look at Daimyu Bei, Ning Fengzi, and Gurong. I was very reluctant to leave. Zhu's Huking's eyes were reddish and he stepped forward to hug Xiao Wu. Letting go, her voice choked up and said, Xiao Wu, you have accepted this star officer's challenge, rewarded too. Hurry up and go back to the Star Dao Forest with your soul beast friends. After our strength is strong enough, there is no need to separate. Xiao Wu, be obedient, go back. Daimyu Bei also said at this time, Xiao Wu, Zhuking is right, you should hurry back to the Star Dao Forest. There's ample time. I believe we will meet again soon. One day, we, the 7 Shrek monsters, will definitely be able to reunite. You guys have to take care. Xiao Wu is gone. In the end, She reluctantly looked at Qin Ming on the ring. Ning Fengzi and Gu Rong. Then there are Zhu Zhuking and Dai Mu Bei. And the silver-haired man on the ring Fudan. Tears trickled down from the corners of his eyes and jumped on Ming's palm way under the arena. Zhu Zhuking kept waving his hands. There was reluctance in the girl's eyes. Dai Mu Bei next to her patted her shoulder to comfort her. On the ring, Qin Ming looked at Xiao Wu who was leaving. Turning around, he saluted the silver-haired man on the futon and shouted respectfully, "Qin Ming, pay respects to senior." Lin Feng said seriously, "Take out the lucky star feather you got and inject soul power." Said, "Yes, senior." He took out the lucky star feather and injected it with soul power. The star feather glowed with a dazzling holy golden light. Flying into the air, the word attack appeared. Lin Feng said, "Qin Ming, what you started is the attack challenge." Smile, "I understand, senior." He retreated a few steps, and 7 soul rings of yellow, purple, black, and black rose under his feet. The strength of the 73-level soul saint exploded, and red flames appeared around him. Behind him is a flaming wolf spirit. Qin Ming shouted loudly, "The 7th soul skill, martial soul avatar, the 6th soul skill, burning flames, easy." Chapter 44. Qin Ming obtained the Vulcan fragment. Jin Daoliu thanked him for not killing. Tang San was afraid of death and dared not enter the forest. Star Luo Empire. On the ring of Dongaiyu soul hunting forest, Qin Ming leaped into the air looking at the lucky Xingaiyu in front of him. Raise your hands high up in claws. The next moment, a large sea of flames of tens of meters condensed. The ultimate flame storm swept the audience. It caused Lin Feng's long silver hair to dance under the ring. Zhu Zhuking and Dai Mu Bei. They all showed shocked and excited expressions. Forced by the power of the soul skill, he quickly retreated to the rear. Ning Fengzi leaned on the jeweled cane and looked at the sky above the ring. The sea of fire condensed by Qin Ming. Appreciate said, "Qin Ming's talent and potential are extremely strong. I'm afraid in Shrek Academy, one can compare with it. Period." Bone Daoluo stood with his hands behind his back and nodded in agreement. Jin Daoliu, who was dressed in a noble robe, also looked excited. It's just that he doesn't like Qin Ming's talent and strength at all. All he cares about is what ratings and rewards he will get. Those soul masters watching the battle from a distance. The number has reached tens of thousands. They waited for the 100,000-year soul beast to leave after the giant ape of Titan. He approached cautiously, but now it was blown away by the heat wave that spread like a tide. Extremely embarrassed on the ring stage, Qin Ming shouted loudly, "The 6th soul skill, burning flames, has reached its limit." The sea of flames expanded from tens of meters to hundreds of meters. "Let me go." Qin Ming raised his hands and waved towards Xingyu. Xingaiyu absorbs these flames in turn. Tens of seconds later, the flames covering the entire venue completely disappeared. The breeze was blowing away the heat in hearts. Qin Ming knelt on one knee and panted heavily. Looking at lucky Xingaiyu flying towards the silver-haired man. Discover the exhausted soul power in your body. Got. A scarlet letter appeared in Lin Feng's mind. Character, Qin Ming. Attack damage, 87,623. Rating, C+. Reward, Vulcan Test Fragment 1. Vulcan Test Fragments. After collecting all 5 fragments, the Vulcan test can be opened. If the qualification of the opener meets the requirements of the Vulcan successor, the Vulcan 9 tests can be opened. Remarks, pieces of the Vulcan test can be given as gifts. Lin Feng looked at the information that appeared in his mind. Very surprised, didn't expect a C+ rating. Things like Vulcan test fragments came out. I have to say that Qin Ming's luck is a little bit good. He thought about looking at Qin Ming in front of him. Opened his mouth and said, "Qin Ming, congratulations on your damage of 87,623 points, rated C+. Reward Vulcan Test Fragment 1. Collect all 5 Vulcan Test Fragments. You can start the test of the first level God Vulcan. If the talent and aptitude pass the test by then, it is possible to open the Vulcan 9 trials, obtain the qualifications to inherit the throne. Vulcan Test Fragments can be gifted." After Lin Feng finished speaking, he squeezed out a cyan light ball in his hand. Flying in front of Qin Ming, it turned into a fragment wrapped in flames. For a moment, Qin Ming looked puzzled. The strongest known continent is titled Douluo. He has never heard of gods of fire. Those who also showed puzzled expressions were those under the ring. Dai Mu Bei and Zhu Zhuking. Ning Fengzi and Gu Rong are one of the upper 3 sects. The management staff of the 7 Treasure Glazed Tile School. They know the legends about the gods on the mainland. Gods are meant to be above level 99 Peerless Douluo, a higher level of divine existence. Never expected that Qin would get a C+ rating. You can get a Vulcan test fragment if you can collect all 5 pieces. You will start the Vulcan 9 trials in the future. He will inherit the position of Vulcan, then it will be invincible in Douluo Continent. Create the supreme legend. The soul masters who rushed over from a distance one after another nearby. They also showed puzzled expressions. Obviously not many people know about the legends of the gods. Jin Daoliu couldn't help showing a shocked expression. Rao is his identity as the god of angels to guide people at this time. I couldn't sit still. Jin Daoliu is well aware of the angel god enshrined by the angel clan. It is a first-level god. Vulcan is also a first-level god. He felt his 3 views were shattered again. He was pressed hard on the ground and rubbed. With this kind of development, why do you still have to practice hard? God position in the future. Gain invincible absolute power. Jin Daoliu tried his best to take a deep breath, but still can't calm down the excited mood. The Star Official Challenge is so rich, the rewards are heaven-defying. It made him feel extremely excited. Then he looked at the silver-haired man on the futon in the arena. Shocked expressions of Lin Feng and Gurong. Especially the middle-aged man in a noble robe. He showed a moved and envious gesture. Qin understood that this reward must be a good thing. Thank you, senior. Qin bowed deeply to the silver-haired man. Then put away the Vulcan fragments. Turn around and walk off the ring. Zhu Huqing and Daimyo Bei, Lin Feng and Gurong hurriedly surrounded them. Vulcan fragment obtained by Qin. Jin Daoliu subconsciously wanted to go over and take a look. It is conceivable that this would be a loss of identity. You can only take back the right leg you took. He walked slowly to the edge of the ring. Qian Daoliu, I want to go to the arena to discuss some matters with my seniors. I wonder if senior can give me a chance. Lin Feng glanced at this old thing. Eyes narrowed slightly and said, come up. Jin Daoliu was flattered and his face showed joy. Immediately step your legs forward. It really passed through the defensive formation. Suddenly, an earth-shattering mysterious force crushed it. The soul power in Jin Daoliu's body was instantly suppressed. His pupils constricted suddenly, his face pale. His soul power has reached level 99 peerless, although it can also stimulate part of the power of angel gods. Period. It was so easy to be suppressed. He had no doubt that if the other party wanted to kill him, that would kill him instantly. Jin Daoliu's breathing became rapid. Due to excessive fear, he held his hands tightly. The palms are covered with fine sweat. Head bowed deeply like a child who has done something wrong. He didn't dare to move, he was afraid of death. Lin Feng looked coldly at the old thing in front of him. Daoliu, if you have anything to say, hurry up and tell me, otherwise, let me go down, don't waste time. Jin Daoliu was so frightened that his forehead was covered with fine sweat. He squeezed out a smile uglier than crying, anxiously said, Senior, calm down, Senior, calm down. I see that Senior is so heroic and unrivaled in the world, that's why I wanted to take a closer look. Seeing the respect of the predecessors, Jin Daoliu originally wanted to negotiate terms with the other party. Let's see if I can get lucky. Xingaiyu for my granddaughter Jin Rinxu get the chance to accept the Star Official Challenge if possible. He would also like to accept the Star Official Challenge just once on the ring. Jin Daoliu's soul power was sealed, being reduced to a fish at the mercy of others. He was frightened out of his wits. I can only make up and say some compliments. He doesn't want to die. Lin Feng's eyes showed a cold expression in an instant. I didn't expect this old thing Jin Daoliu to have such a disgusting habit. He shouted angrily, get lost. Immediately, he waved. The supreme, unrivaled mystical power surges. Blast Jin Daoliu away. Silver-haired man on the futon in the center of the ring. He bowed deeply, and said with trepidation, thank you, Senior, for not killing me. Thank you, Senior, for not killing me. Immediately afterwards, he was watched by the shocked eyes of countless soul masters around him. Tear open the space and suddenly enter it, disappearing in place. Lin Feng and Gurong were shocked. Unexpectedly, Jin Daoliu with a soul power of 99, the patriarch of the angel clan, he was hit hard by a casual blow from the senior. He was so frightened that he left Zhu Huqing, Daimyo Bei, and Qin looked at each other. A very old age, he almost collapsed to death. Old Jack didn't expect that he would only get drunk all day long. Tang Hao, who couldn't support the wall with mud, could fly, but he couldn't even think about it now. He was dizzy and extremely uncomfortable. Power, probably someone from the spirit hall. You have to send old Jack to accept the Star Officers Challenge together with me. Still waiting outside Donggaiyu Soul Hunting Forest, Tang San looked at old Jack, hiding the fear in his eyes. Said to Tang Hao, Father, I'd better not follow the past, otherwise, if you meet the title Douluo of the Spirit Hall, it will only hold you back. Father, Grandpa Jack is weak, you must protect him. Tang Hao patted his son on the shoulder, nodded and said, Little San, don't worry, as long as it's not the Lord of the Hall Enshrinement of the Spirit Hall, Tang Hao, have no fear of anyone else. It's you have to pay attention to safety alone. He gave a few last instructions, took old Jack into the air, and entered Dongyu Hunting Soul Forest. Old Jack hugged Tang Hao tightly like an octopus. Frightened and shouted, Tang Hao, you bastard, fly slower, I don't know how to respect the old and love the young at all, I'm afraid of heights. Outside Dongyu Soul Hunting Forest. After watching Tang Hao and old Jack leave, Tang San began to look for a hidden place to hide. P.S. The first update, 1/5. Chapter 45. The old Jack who chased and scolded Tang Hao, I will give you this lucky star feather. Start the desire challenge. Dongyu Hunting Soul Forest. Near the arena the number of onlookers was still increasing at an astonishing rate. What happened today is unbelievable. 2 100,000-year-old soul beast overlords from the starred-out Great Forest. He actually led hundreds of thousands of year soul beasts protecting a little girl came here to accept the Star Officer's challenge. The key is Lin Feng, the patriarch of the 7 treasure glazed tile school. Bone Douluo Gurong will not conflict with those soul beasts. As for the identities of Daimyo Bei and Zhu Xiuqing being recognized, Qin Ming was wearing Shrek Academy costumes, also recognized as the teacher of Shrek Academy. But what shocked everyone the most was the middle-aged man who wore a noble robe and tore through the space came out. As soon as the opponent appeared, the entire Dongyu Soul Hunting Forest except Senior. There is also a spiritual challenge on the ring. The soul power sealed in their bodies, even level 95 Bone Douluo is no exception. Who would have thought that the middle-aged man in the robe would step onto the ring? But he was blown away by the Senior. Severely injured and vomiting blood, he left here in embarrassment. For a time, the image of Senior in everyone's mind became taller and holy. On the stage, Lin Feng glanced at the people around him. Close your eyes and meditate. Today's third lucky star feather, obtained by the village chief Jack of Holy Soul Village. I don't know if he can come to accept the Star Officer's challenge today. Dongyu Soul Hunting Forest is extremely far away from Holy Soul Village. Old Jack, I'm afraid, but at this moment, he suddenly opened his eyes looking towards the sky. His eyes lightened slightly and he said, Here we come. I saw a middle-aged man in a tattered gray robe. It is flying towards this side at an extremely fast speed. Tang Hao has a name hanging on him at this moment. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Period. An old man holding a bamboo and wooden walking stick. He was trembling with fright. He kept hitting Tang Hao's head with a bamboo and wooden cane in his hand. Cried out loudly, Tang Hao! Tang Hao, you bastard, put me down quickly, quickly. I'm not going to see that businessman anymore. I want to go back to Holy Soul Village. You send me back to Holy Soul Village. Upset by old Jack. Suddenly, he gave a low drink. The momentum broke the bamboo and wooden crutches in an instant. Who knows that old Jack didn't let him go. He chose to grab Tang Hao's hair and beard. In the end, he went to strangle his neck. It's just that old Jack doesn't have much strength and landed. Tang Hao couldn't bear it anymore and pulled old Jack off his body. Pushed hard to the side. Old Jack was weak and fell to the ground. Angrily, he blew his beard and stared. After getting up, he stared at Tang Hao coldly. Then he looked at the jeweled walking stick in Lin Feng's hand. A cruel expression appeared on the old face. Young man, lend my old man your crutch, today I must caretake of this bastard Tang Hao. Next moment, old Jack snatched the jeweled cane from Lin Feng's hand. He rushed towards the dark-faced Tang Hao, swinging non-stop with a jeweled cane. Just like a father teaching his son. It's not enough. Tang Hao thought about how the other party took care of his family. Naturally, it is impossible to do anything to old Jack because of this minutes. Leaning on a gemstone crutch with both hands, he was out of breath. I am very satisfied with Tang Hao's attitude of admitting his mistakes, who did not fight back. With a snort, he said, Tang Hao, how dare you disrespect me, an old man, my legs were broken by you, when Zaizan comes, I won't be able to protect you, said, young man, here it is, thank you very much. Fortunately, I have your crutches, otherwise, old man, I would have been bullied by that bastard Tang Hao for nothing today. Lin Feng looked at Haoshan Douluo, whose face turned black. Look at the old man in front of you again. Some were at a loss and swallowed their saliva. He could only keep laughing and say, old man, no, you're welcome. Lin Feng felt a little hot after taking the jeweled crutch. Looking at Bone Douluo Gurong, he found that he had the same astonished expression as himself. Not just the two of them. The tens of thousands of soul masters around were also stunned. The famous Haoshan Douluo and Douluo Continent. After accepting the Star Official Challenge yesterday. After recovering from the injury, his strength further reached level 96, now, he was killed by an old man without soul power. Pointing at the nose and beating and scolding for most of the day. One bite at a time, damn stuff, the key is Haoshan Douluo from beginning to end. It is even more strange not to fight back when hit or scolded. Zhu's Huking and Mu Bei, Qin Ming. They didn't know old Jack expressions on the ring. Lin Feng closed his eyes, lift a gap in the corner of the eye, look at the farce between old Jack and Tang Hao below. I'm afraid I'm looking at the entire Douluo Continent. Dare to insult Tang Hao so unscrupulously. It's only the old village Hao Jack, right? Lin Feng was afraid that the world would not be chaotic, so he ate melons quietly. He was suddenly looking forward to it. What type of challenge does old Jack open up under the arena? Lin Feng came in front of Tang Hao. Said with a smile. I have seen His Majesty Haoshan. This is, immediately, everyone's eyes were on Tang Hao. Tang Hao coughed lightly to cover up his embarrassment. Said, old Jack, he is one of my elders. Jack, who was looking at the people around him in horror. Tang Hao's face turned cold, and he roared angrily, if you don't want to die, step back 10 meters, accompanied by a powerful momentum erupted. The surrounding soul masters quickly retreated, not daring to offend Haoshan Douluo. At the same time, I am even more curious about the relationship between Tang Hao and this old man. Tang Hao came to old Jack and combed his body with soul power. Old Jack calmed down a little, and looked at Tang Hao with an incredulous expression. Is this the same Tang Hao who only got drunk and dragged down the mistress from before? With a smile on Tang Hao's face, he stretched out his hand to wipe off the dust on his clothes and said, old Jack, you were chosen by Lucky Xingyu, eligible to accept the Star Officer's Challenge. Little San, and I don't want you to miss this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, so I can only lie to you that there are rich merchants who want to buy things in the village. I brought you here overnight. Go up to the arena and accept the Star Officials Challenge, as long as you can get rating rewards. Then it will be a great opportunity. Old Jack was moved by Tang Hao's words. With tears in his eyes, he said, Tang Hao, I'm really sorry. Just now, old man, I shouldn't scold you like that, beat you like that. Speaking of this, he took out the lucky star feather and stuffed it into Tang Hao's hands, and continued to say excitedly, Tang Hao, I'm already my age, maybe someday I'll end up in the coffin with just one kick of my legs. This lucky star feather is too precious, it's a waste to use it on me. Come on, Tang Hao, take Xingyu, I'll go up for you to accept the challenge from the Star Official, and remember not to get drunk again, stay with Zayas and more, he needs you. Old Jack felt that his body was getting worse day by day, and time was running out. Period. She didn't expect to be selected by Lucky Xingyu, but she didn't want to waste this precious opportunity. Everyone around, including Lin Feng on the ring, everyone was moved by old Jack's words. I feel very heartwarming for this elderly and kind grandpa. When he goes out to the pub to get drunk, old Jack will take a wooden stick to drive him home in a blink of an eye. So many years have passed. Tang San also grew up from a child, and old Jack is old too. Suddenly, a strong emotion came to my heart. Stay with Zayas and well, this lucky star feather chose you, no one else can use it. Now take the lucky star feather and go up to the arena to accept the Star Officer's Challenge. Little San also hopes that you can get a reward rating. Old Jack wiped away his tears and looked at Tang Hao, finding that he has really changed. He smiled in relief. That appearance is like an old elder, looking at his younger generation kindly. Alright, Tang Hao, then I'll go up by myself. I didn't expect my old man to accept the challenge of the rumored Star Officer, but I don't know anything, so what can I do? Old Jack took one last look at Tang Hao, with his hands behind his back. He hunched over and walked towards the ring. Lin Feng hurriedly followed and said, old man, you can hold this crutch and be careful on the steps. Old Jack gratefully accepted the jeweled cane and said, thank you, young man. Immediately afterwards, his thin body passed through the defensive formation. Before coming to the futon, he smiled helplessly and said, young man, old man, I'm here to accept the Star Officer's challenge. What should I do? I don't know anything. Lin Feng stood up from the futon. A chair appeared between waving hands, and said with a smile, Old Jack, please sit down, just take out the lucky star feather. Old Jack sat down in the chair, flattered with dazzling golden light fly into the air to display the word desire. P.S. The second update, February 5th. Chapter 46 The Four Tests of the Law and Land of the Rich Couple. The Old Jack was rewarded with an A rating, and the Mask of the Gods Tang Hao under the ring Zhu Xiuqing, Dai Mu Bei, Qin Ming Ning Feng Zi, Gurong and others. There are also tens of thousands of soul masters who are watching here. Everyone stared at the sky above the ring. The word desire emerged from Lucky Zingayu show a puzzled expression. There are three types of star official challenges open before. They are spirit, defense and attack. Everyone can see it. Old Jack is just an ordinary man without soul power. No matter which of these three types of challenges he opens, there is no chance of getting rating rewards. Explanations about the challenge of desire appeared in his mind. After a while, Lin Feng looked at Old Jack, opened his mouth and said, Old Jack, what you have started is a brand new challenge, desire challenge. This refers to the test of greed. Wait a minute, lucky star feather will bring your consciousness to a small parallel world. You can get a rating reward, of course after entering the small world, everything you know about the Star Officer's challenge, it will be temporarily erased. Old Jack sat on the chair and listened in a daze. In the end, I still didn't understand. He smiled and said, Young man, do whatever you want. Anyway, my old man never thought that he would be rewarded, but everyone under the ring was extremely shocked by Lin Feng's words. Obviously, the desire challenge opened this time quite different from previous other types of challenges. Lin Feng nodded. Turn around and go back to the futon and sit down. Immediately afterwards, the lucky star feather in the sky landed. A golden light cover Old Jack on the chair holding the jeweled cane. He passed out in a chair. The cane fell to the ground with a clang. A huge jade mirror appeared above the arena. It shows Old Jack going into a small village. Lucky Zingayu flew to the jade mirror. The golden light is condensed into one word: wealth. Small world of consciousness. Old Jack had just come home with a bamboo cane. There was a knock on the door. Who is it? Old Jack went over and opened the door. It was found to be a man in a brocade suit. The other party embraced with both hands, with a high posture. Obviously from a rich family person. Hastily nodded and said, Yes, my lord, I am the village chief of Holy Soul Village. Jack, I don't know why your lord made a sudden visit. Sell Holy Soul Village to the Chen family. This 1,000 gold soul coin is yours. Old Jack's face changed slightly and he opened the storage bag to take a look. He was dazzled by the full bag of golden soul coins. He quickly handed back the storage bag with both hands and said excitedly, My lord, please take back these golden soul coins. Although I am the head of Holy Soul Village, but everything here belongs to every villager. I have no right to make this decision. The man in brocade clothes sneered and continued, Do you think 1,000 gold soul coins is too little? Well, the Chen family will add 1,000 gold soul coins. Old Jack still had a determined expression on his face and said, My lord, it's not about the gold soul coins, it's that I can't be sorry to the villagers of Holy Soul Village. If I took these golden soul village, the villagers who will be harmed will be displaced and homeless. 3 soul rings rose from under the brocade-clothed man's feet, threatening, Old man, the Chen family will directly offer 5,000 gold soul coins. As long as you collect the money and leave Holy Soul Village, the Chen family will naturally have a way to deal with the coins. Remaining matters. Old Jack showed fear on his face, and retreated slowly. Hissed and shouted, No, even if I, Jack, die, I will never accept money that is against my conscience. I can't do it for my own benefit. It killed the villagers of Holy Soul Village. I can't. Are 4 kinds of tests in this level, aiming at the 4 directions of the field of fortune. Completing each test will give you a point. In the end, all 4 tests were completed. Rating rewards are given based on the sum of 4 points, under the arena. Everyone looked shocked. Obviously, the challenge of desire is extremely difficult. After all, people have the 7 emotions and 6 desires, love, hate, anger, and ignorance among them. Desire, that is, greed, is the most terrifying. In front of the jade mirror in the sky, Lucky Zingayu condensed a word couple, small world of consciousness. Old Jack's old appearance is rapidly becoming younger. A man's handsome face appeared. And that tall, muscular body. At this time, a woman's gentle voice came from the kitchen. Jack, it's time to eat. Old Jack got up and went into the kitchen. I saw 2 side dishes and bowls and chopsticks on the dining table dark, and her hair is simply tied up. Turning around reveals a cheek scarred by a birthmark. Old Jack walked over and pulled the woman to sit down. Looking at her, he said affectionately, "Xia Feng, it's really hard work for you, me. Hurry up and eat, and then go to Aunt Lee's. Aunt Lee came to see you in the morning. She is so mysterious that she must have something urgent." Old Jack nodded and began to eat. From time to time, the two would give each other food. "You take a bite and I take a bite," warm and happy party, and said with a smile, "So it's Yanayan, I remember that you went to Advanced Soul Master Academy for further study. Why did you come back?" Li Yanayan took Old Jack's hand like she did when she was a child, muttered and said, "Brother Jack, I received news that you are going to get married soon. Xia Feng and I love each other very much. You must come over for a wedding banquet on the day we get married." Li Yanayan looked at him and said, "Brother Jack, didn't you like me before? Actually, I like you too. It's just that I went to the Soul Master Academy later, and the number of times we met was too little." Old Jack smiled bitterly and said, "Yanayan, I liked you before, but we were still young at that time. I have already met Xia Feng, a woman who wants to accompany her for the rest of her life. I also hope that you will find the man who can stay with you for the rest of your life as soon as possible." At the end of the sentence, Old Jack was about to leave, but was blocked. Li Yanayan said unwillingly and excitedly, "Brother Jack, we grew up together, no one can replace the feelings between us, and I look better than the Xia Feng. I don't have a birthmark on my face, and I'm prettier than her. My figure is also better than hers, and I'm still a soul master with a soul power of level 35. My conditions in all aspects are much better than hers. I don't believe you have any reason to choose her over me." Old Jack looked at the woman in front of him. His face became cold and he said, "Yanayan, I don't allow you to say that about Xia Feng. You are a very good woman. You are better than Xia Feng in every aspect, but I only like Xia Feng, and I will only marry her." Old Jack pushed Yanayan away and went home. However, fate seems to be deliberately tormenting Old Jack. The village introduced him to many girls, and some of them had good conditions, hoping to help Old Jack start a family and not be alone. But they were all rejected by Old Jack. From the day Xia Feng passed away, his heart also died. No pink lady in the world could ever walk into his heart again. In front of the huge jade mirror outside, a character 8 appeared on Lucky Zengayu. Then, the word Fa was condensed. Inside the small world of consciousness, the elderly Jack lives in Saint Soul Village, accompanied by the villagers. It's been quite satisfying. Every year, the children are sent to awaken the martial soul, and then the children who can practice are sent to nodding school. Year after year, without interruption. This has also become the thing that Old Jack is most proud of. This day, late at night. Old Jack, who was asleep, was woken up and found himself in a white place. A scarlet mask appeared in front of him, exuding a mysterious energy aura. Cheeky flew over and put it on Old Jack when he was shocked. It caused 9 red soul rings to rise around him. There is an energy in the body that is so powerful that it cannot be described in words. Old Jack suddenly had the illusion that he could destroy the world and dominate all living things and said, "Jack, this mask is called Tang San. As long as you wear it, you can gain a level 99 soul power and become a peerless powerhouse in the Douluo Continent. Of course, you can also choose to take off your mask and get a chance to meet the person you want to see the most. Even if the other party is dead, you can still see it. Choose one, make a choice." After the Savoy seductive stopped, Old Jack, wearing a psychic mask, 9 red soul rings spun around him. Every move carries earth-shattering power, but he didn't hesitate. The right hand took off the mask, revealing a pair of red eyes. The next moment, a woman's figure trotted over from the white distance, constantly approaching, revealing a cheek with a scar. The woman's skin is slightly dark, and her hair is simply tied up. His eyes are gentle and affectionate. Seeing this scene, Old Jack hurried over. The two hugged each other in front of the huge jade mirror outside. A 10 appeared. Lucky Zengayu condenses the word earth. Inside the small world of consciousness, Old Jack came to a magnificent palace. At the top there is a majestic and sacred dragon chair. Around this time, a seductive male voice sounded and said, "Old Jack, this is the dragon chair that symbolizes the supreme status. Miles, of course, there is a condition, that is, your memory will be erased, and a new emperor's life will start. In the end, it is to board this dragon chair and become the emperor of one party. Still continue to be the head of your holy soul village. It's up to you to choose." Old Jack laughed openly, turned around and walked towards the gate shrouded in white light. The voice came back, My old Jack is over 60 years old. And he is an old man. It's good to stay in Holy Soul Village. The biggest wish in this life is to hope that the villagers can live a good life. I hope Holy Soul Village can continue to be brilliant, get a strong man at the level of a soul sage. I have no regrets in this life. When his figure completely disappeared into the white light, the dragon chair above disappeared, and this resplendent palace also disappeared. Everything, as if never happened, in front of the huge jade mirror outside. Lucky Zingayu displayed as 7. The jade mirror disappeared. A golden light released by Lucky Zingayu faded away. He flew back to Lin Feng and was put away. A scarlet letter appeared in his mind. Character, Old Jack. Desire score, 32. Rating, A. Reward, broken amulet mask, broken psychic mask. After putting it on, it binds a random martial soul, and obtains a level 95 soul power and the corresponding soul ring and soul skills. After taking it off, all abilities disappear. Remarks, a damaged aura mask cannot be given away, it can be worn and removed every 3 days. Meanwhile, above the sky the 4th challenge golden monument appeared, with the word desired displayed on the top of the monument. First place, Old Jack. PS, the 3rd update, 3/5, let me tell you. The full score of the 4 tests of the Land of Fortune is not 10 points, it depends on the person who starts the challenge and the degree of completion. The reason for this challenge is mainly to present Bibi Dong, Uzia Gang, Jin Ringsu, Tang Chen and other characters in this way to present some of their past events. Everyone is different. Chapter 47 10 Years of Life Pill was given to Old Jack, Mo Hongjin's award was voided, and Master Jin Ringsu Bibi Dong was selected. On the ring, Old Jack slowly woke up. But he found tears welling up in his eyes. It turns out that those pictures just now are all fake. Xia Feng, I never thought I would see you again in this life. I will have no more regrets. The rest of the time, dedicate everything to Holy Soul Village. Let the people in the village live a good life. Help more children so they can go to not in college. Old Jack wiped the tears from the corners of his eyes. Picking up the jeweled cane on the ground, he got up and went to the futon. Looking at the silver-haired man above, he smiled kindly and said, "Young man, can I go? I want to go back to Holy Soul Village." Lin Feng smiled and looked at the Old Jack in front of him, opened his mouth and said, "Old Jack, congratulations on your victory in the Desire Challenge. Scored 32. Rated A. Reward a pair of damaged psychic masks. After wearing it, it is randomly bound to a martial soul. Obtain level 95 soul power and corresponding soul rings and soul skills. After taking it off, all abilities disappear. A damaged amulet mask cannot be gifted. It can be worn and removed every 3 days. This is your reward. Take it well." He squeezed out an orange ball of light in his hand and flew in front of Old Jack. Turned into a bloody mask. Exudes the breath of mysterious energy. For a time, there were tens of thousands of soul masters under the ring. They all stared wide-eyed in shock. Unexpectedly, the Old Jack could be in the brand new one as the B rating jointly maintained by Tang Hao and Xiao Wu. Who would have thought that he was such an ordinary grandfather without soul power? It actually got more than a B rating and a B+ rating straight to a grade of A, especially that pair of damaged psychic masks. After wearing it, you can get a level 95 soul power adaptive martial soul ring, and soul skills. Let an ordinary person who can't cultivate instantly have the strength of a 95 level title Douluo. It is truly shocking and can be called a miracle. The Star Official Challenge once again refreshed everyone's perception. And on top of the A rating there is an A+ rating. S+, SS+, SSS+ ratings. It is impossible to imagine what the ultimate reward will be. Tang Hao under the ring looked at Old Jack. Show a sincere smile. I am happy for the old man from the bottom of my heart. On the ring, Old Jack looked at the bloody mask in front of him. Recall what just happened in the small world. Regret, so he stretched out his hand tremblingly. He took over the mask and stroked it gently. He looked up at the silver-haired man in front of him with tears in his eyes. Choked up and said, "Young man, thank you, let me settle the regret in my heart. The old man has nothing to repay, please accept my worship." Old Jack was about to kneel down when he said those words. Lin Feng raised his right hand upwards. The power of the invisible formation helped Old Jack up. Said with a smile, "Old Jack, you don't have to thank me. These are the rewards you get for accepting the Star Officer's Challenge, not my business." After a pause, he took out a pill from his bosom. He flew over and continued, "Old Jack, this is a 10-year longevity pill. After taking it, you can increase your lifespan by 10 years. It's useless for me to keep this thing by my side. Give it to you together Old Jack looked at the 10-year longevity pill in his hand. I was very excited. It made him look much younger at this moment. Thanks, thanks, thanks. Old Jack said thank you 3 times in succession today. He is grateful. There are no words to describe the mood at this moment. Carefully placed the mask of the gods. After 10 years, Shaoyin pill was put into his bosom, patted the old man's shoulder, said with a smile, Old Jack, when we were in Holy Soul Village, I was in a daze all day long, and got drunk with wine. It was thanks to you for taking care of Xiaozhen at that time. This friendship Tang Hao always remembers in his heart. When Old Jack recalled the past, he blew his beard and stared angrily. He stared fiercely at Tang Hao and cursed, Tang Hao, you were nothing really at that time. Little San is only 4 or 5 years old. You let him wash and cook for you every day, but I go to the tavern to drink all day long. Now that I think about it, I'm still angry. Tang Hao laughed heartily, in a good mood, although he was abused by Old Jack pointing his nose, but really not angry at all. On the contrary, it feels very cordial after all. There are not many people in this world who are willing to reprimand him like this. Zhu Huqing, Dai Mu Bei, and Qin Ming stepped forward. The 3 of them shouted respectfully, greetings to Haoshan Douluo. Tang Hao nodded to the 3 of them. Old Jack returned the jeweled walking stick to Lin Feng. Just heard what Zhu Huqing and the others said. Jack, I am Haoshan Douluo. It's just that he hasn't finished speaking yet. He was reprimanded by Old Jack pointing his nose. Well, Tang Hao, you are a Haoshan Douluo. You didn't take good care of Xiaozhen when he was young. Instead, I keep putting more pressure on Xiaozhen, beating him and scolding him. Tang Hao, do you think you are short-hearted? Little San met a father like you. It's really unlucky for 8 lifetimes. For a moment, Old Jack cursed Tang Hao from under the ring, knowing that Tang Hao didn't dare to talk back. He became even more unscrupulous. The crowd around watched this scene gradually. All none dare to reprimand the famous Haoshan Douluo like this. I am afraid that Old Jack is the only one on the mainland. He is no longer that ordinary person without soul power. Instead, get the amulet mask, a superpower who can master level 95 soul power at any time. Just like that, time flies by. Night falls. Star Luo Empire, Dongaiyu Soul Hunting Forest near the arena. A large number of soul masters gathered here. Everyone looked excited, staring at the silver-haired man on the ring, looking forward to the announcement of the Golden Monument tonight. Among them, Tang Hao was the most excited, because tomorrow is the 3-day time for him to enter the list of defense and challenge the Golden Monument sky. If you find that your fortune is changing, there will definitely be happy events in the near future. Secretly looking forward to being selected by Lucky Zengaiyu. In the sky, the attack challenged the Golden Monument. Shines golden light. Reflect the night sky as day. The entire Douluo Continent. Hundreds of millions of beings are witnessing the sacred moment. The second place is Mahongjian, turns red. There was a countdown. Later on, Child's hour came. Everyone in the audience held their breath, and visibly, emotions were pushed to a climax. I saw the silver-haired man on the futon in the arena. At this moment, he opened his eyes. A majestic voice sounded from the mouth and spread, Mahongjian, congratulations on your second place in the Attack Challenge Gold Monument, starting to distribute B+ rating rewards now. Immediately, a purple ball of light flew out of his hand, turned into a red tree in the air. 10 fruits of different breath formed on it. Tens of thousands of soul masters in the audience stared at the fruit on the red tree. The blood in everyone's body is boiling, full of longing. Tang Hao was equally excited. He has experienced the magic of the Star Officers Challenge. How I wish I could get a miracle drug. It can make his wife Ayn grow up faster and transform into a human being as soon as possible. Old Jack stood still. He just wanted to return to Holy Soul Village as soon as possible, and he didn't want to expect anything else at this time. The attack in the sky challenged the Golden Monument. A holy golden light descended, flying over everyone's head. It seems that they haven't found the target. Period. The holy golden light knocked down a random fruit on the red tree and flew towards the ring. Lin Feng put the fruit into his arms, opened his mouth and declared, because Mahongjian didn't come to accept the award, so the reward is void. The next moment, the mangrove tree in the sky, the night sky, returned to darkness again, as if nothing had happened just now. On the ring, Lin Feng stood up. 3 lucky star feathers exuding sacred golden light appeared on the hand. 3 names emerged: Jinring Su, Yuzaya Gang, Bibi Dong. Huh? It's really interesting. Jinring Su, oh Jinring Su, I really want to know if you will come to accept the Star Officers Challenge tomorrow. Come, Zhu King's identity will be exposed. Yuzaya Gang, Bibi Dong, you 2 little friends, tomorrow, under the watchful eyes of everyone, I will see you facing each other like this. Hey, tomorrow Liu Erlong and Tang Hao, they will also come to the scene to wait for the possible award of the Golden Monument. So many people gathered together, tisk tisk tisk, waiting to eat melon tomorrow. Lin Feng laughed for a while, fearing that the world would not be chaotic. The challenge location for this refresh is in the Imperial Palace of the Heaven Dao Empire. He activated the power of the formation, carried the entire arena and disappeared in place. P.S. The fourth update, 4/5, the last chapter will be updated later and will be written. Chapter 48. Jack refuses to join the Seven Treasures Glazed Tile School. Jin Ringsu seeks help from relatives. The master is molested by Ma Hongjin at night. Dongyu hunting soul forest. Tens of thousands of soul masters gathered here look excited, look forward to gazing at the mangrove trees shining with divine golden light in the sky. Attracted by the 10 fruits with different breaths at this moment. Except for old Jack. No one wants to replace Ma Hongjin. Obtain the fruit of great chance that can change against the sky. Who knew that the senior would suddenly announce? Ma Hongjin was not present to receive the award. Calm, as if it had never happened. After a brief silence, the audience fierce discussions erupted. Everyone is scolding Ma Hongjin for his ignorance. This is the Golden Monument reward for the B+ rating. Unexpectedly absent. The award will be voided. What a waste of money. Ma Hongjin, that brat, which woman died on the bed? There's a B+ rated golden reward monument, but you don't come to claim it. Wait until the next time we meet to see if I can't spare him. Daimyo Bei's eyes revealed a fierce look, and he clenched his fists tightly. Zhu Huking next to him whispered, Mu Bei, Ma Hongjin's spirit power is now level 55, not only taller than us, there is also a 90,000-year fifth spirit ring. The martial soul evolved into 9-headed fire phoenix. You can't beat him. Daimyo looked embarrassed. He could only pretend to be calm and say, Zuking, when the time comes, let's use the martial soul fusion technique, the nether white tiger, 2 against 1, we must teach the Dean a lesson. Old Jack had his hands behind his back. Looking at Tang Hao with a hunched body, he said with a smile, Tang Hao, everything is over, let's hurry up and meet Xiaozhen, then go back to Holy Soul Village. I'm not used to being outside here, and the villagers noticed that I was missing. It will definitely be very worrying. Tang Hao nodded and said okay. At this time Ning Fengzi and Gu Rong stepped forward. Ning Fengzi put the jeweled walking stick on the ground, smiled and said, Old man, I am the suzerain of the 7 Treasure Glazed Tile School. Ning Fengzi, I want to invite the old man to join the 7 Treasure Glazed Tile School. I don't know what the old man wants, as long as the old man agrees, then my 7 Treasure Glazed Tile School will definitely help the Holy Soul Village with all my strength. Let the villagers there live a prosperous life. Ning Fengzi will do what he says. Tang Hao stood quietly and waited. Old Jack is getting old. If you can join the 7 Treasure Glazed Tile sect, you will be protected. He can also rest assured. Old Jack's old face was startled, eyes narrowed into a line. Shocked said, Is the 7 Treasure Glazed Tile School one of the 3 schools on that continent? Ning Fengzi nodded with a smile and replied, Exactly. After old Jack calmed down his excitement. With a bitter smile, he said, Young man, I know your purpose. I just got it by looking at the old man. It's just the power of that psychic mask. All my family, I don't want to go anywhere. I just want to stay in Holy Soul Village, rely on my own ability to let the villagers live a good life. I will also protect the Holy Soul Village in the future. Old Jack's originally cloudy eyes become clear and firm at this moment. Clenched fists. The psychic mask gave him the ability to protect the village. So he will make good use of it. Ning Fengzi and Gu Rong saw this. Neither of them forced it. Daimyo Bei and Zhu Huking stepped forward and said excitedly, Hey Ocean Douluo, we separated from Xiaozhen for 3 years, now I really miss it. Period. Can you let us meet Xiaozhen? Both Zhu Huking and Qin Ming showed anticipation. Tang Hao looked at the 3 and shook his head and said, Now is not the time. Perhaps the people from Wuhun are secretly watching. It's easy to expose the traces of Xiaozhen. It just puts him in danger. You are still too weak. Practice hard. You and Xiaozhen will meet again one day. Looked at Ning Fengzi and Gu Rong and said, Sect Master Ning, Bon Douluo, farewell. After that, he wrapped old Jack with soul power. The 2 left Dongyu Soul Hunting Forest at an extremely fast speed. Ming was also anxious to return to Shrek Academy, so the 3 of them said goodbye. The tens of thousands of soul masters gathered here gradually dispersed. Heaven Dao Empire, Heaven Dao Palace, the prince's bedroom. Because today's star official challenged the location refresh in the territory of Star Luo Empire, therefore, members of the Heaven Dao Imperial family are not suitable to go. Show her amazing beauty, slender figure, plump posture. Every inch of skin on the body is beautiful and just right at this time. The woman's thin lips moved, murmured and said, "Before I knew it, I was in Heaven Dao Palace. It has been lurking for more than 10 years. I really want to go back and visit Grandpa, but for the great ambition of Wuhun Temple, I need to keep lurking here." Thinking of this, Jin Ringsu sighed silently between the brows, reveal the meaning of loss and longing. Suddenly, the space in front of her was torn open. A golden feather exuding divine golden light appeared. Above it hangs a golden stele where the challenge star officials challenged the ring with exactly the same mysterious atmosphere. The noble and calm phoenix eyes of a woman there were slight ripples and said excitedly, I was chosen by Lucky Xingyu." Lightly immediately, a man's majestic voice sounded in his mind, "Whoever wins the star feather can do so before tomorrow's time. Go to the Heaven Dao Palace to accept the challenge from the star officials, and the star feathers will disappear automatically when the time expires." Jin Ringsu suddenly opened her eyes, shocked and at the same time extremely embarrassed. "I never thought that the location where the star official challenged to refresh, it will be in the Heaven Dao Palace. Then if I come forward to accept the star officer's challenge, Prince Zhu King is absent on such an important day, disappear, it will definitely cause doubts. And it is very likely that the identity will be exposed. It has led to the layout of the Wuhan Hall for many years, painstaking efforts, destroyed once. It seems that we can only turn to Grandpa and that woman for help." Jin Ringsu looked determined. Star official challenges contain great opportunities. The unique secret technique of the angel family, it consumes a lot of soul power to perform. In Heaven Dao City, somewhere in an inn, a plump and round woman with spring eyebrows wearing a brand new silk skirt. She was turning in circles, and the skirt was spinning very beautifully. After a while, she came to the bed and sat down. He bowed his head to appreciate the clothes. He liked it very much. Woman's face paused, then he smiled excitedly and said, "Unexpectedly, Yu Gang, was chosen by Lucky Xingyu again." He quickly held Lucky Xingyu in his hand. A man's majestic voice sounded in his mind. When he opened his eyes again, his brows furrowed. The location where the star officer challenged to refresh this time, Gang. Looks like I have to go back to Shrek Academy. Let Flender and Liu Erlong take me into the palace. Figure like a woman in her 20s. No matter where you go, there will be men waiting on you. Yu Gang enjoyed this feeling very much. It's not like being called trash everywhere before. Even becoming a Heaven Dao national master would not be able to get rid of it. Now it is easy to be praised by the stars as long as you don't reveal your master Yu Gang's identity in front of outsiders. That's fine. At night, Mo Hongjin just met the schoolgirl he knew go out to the hotel and come back after a tryst. He promised Flender not to run around. If this is found out overnight, he will die. When Ma Hongjin came to the gate of Shrek Academy, a young and beautiful woman was found. I was pacing back and forth outside the gate, and my lust suddenly became big. He rubbed his hands and said with a smile, "This girl is on time, looks like I'm going to score twice tonight." Asked, "Beauty, you are wandering outside Shrek Academy by yourself, is there something urgent?" "I am Ma Hongjin, one of the Shrek 7 monsters. If the beauty encounters difficulties, I am very happy to help solve them." Yu Gang turned around and took a look. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story, and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Period. It turned out that it was Ma Hongjin, a brat. She even molested a woman and molested herself. But for some reason, he saw Ma Hongjin looking at him bemusedly. Not only was he not. On the contrary, I am very happy. Prove yourself attractive now, Academy. Handsome, can you take me in? Ma Hongjin originally heard that the other party was looking for Flender. The interest is less than half. But the beauty said handsome guy, shouting, his whole body floated to the sky, and his heart was broken. His mouth and said enthusiastically, "Beauty, so you came to see Dean Flender, I'll take you to him right away." Under the moonlit night, the figures of a handsome man and a beautiful woman walked towards the dean's office. Zihuan set off to fight in the Sky Shrek Academy. Dean's office. Flender is working on the papers. But it can be seen from his tightly furrowed brow. At this moment, he is not in a good mood. A pair of preoccupied. Looks like a lot of pressure. At this time, the door of the office was tapped lightly. There came a message that Flender was very familiar with. "Hongjin, a beauty is looking for you." Flender showed a puzzled expression. "Put down the documents in your hand and walk over to open the door." That day lost Yu Gang in the Star Forest. Therefore, He was taught a lesson by Liu Erlong. If there is no more news about Yu Zhiagang, Flender didn't even know how to bear the wrath of the female Tyrannosaurus, but when he opened the door he saw Ma Hongjin looking serious, especially that straight hair, immediately realized that things are not easy. Sure enough, he saw Ma Hongjin next to him. A young and beautiful woman is standing. The two are holding each other's hands, and their relationship is very close. Flender looked at the little fat man in front of him with a puzzled expression. Said, "Ma Hongjin, who is this girl?" Ma Hongjin chuckled. He quickly let go of his hand and said, "Dean Flender, this beauty is here to find you. I just found her wandering around the gate of the academy. He kindly brought her here. You talk, I won't bother." Ma Hongjin left very tactfully. Thumbs up to friend as he turns around. Good guy, at such a young age, you can still date such a punctual girl. It's really enviable. It's a pity that the flowers will be destroyed. Her white and slender hands gently pushed Flender's chest. Jiachin said, "Flender, you just let me stand at the door. It's kind of cold outside." Then, Yu Zhiagang walked directly into the office. The moment Flender had just been pushed, it felt like my heart, which had been silent for many years, was throbbing. It made him feel like seeing Liu Erlong for the first time. Back then the feeling of thumping, but as the dean of Shrek Academy he regained his composure quickly. Such a woman of unknown origin. Absolutely ulterior motives. It's not cutting the kidney or cheating money. Flender's a money slave and regards money as his life. Absolutely will not let the opponent take advantage of it. He walked into the office warily. I saw that woman sitting on the sofa now. The slender right leg crosses the left leg skirt. Flender was stunned for a moment, and his blood surged up. Well, it's not impossible to cut a kidney to cheat money. Flender took a deep breath, came to the woman and sat down, solemnly said, "Girl, I don't know you came to see me." Flender, why? He found the woman pursing her lips. There was a charming smile on the corner of his mouth. But he spoke a voice that was familiar to him in every possible way. There are also 8 words that make Flender doubt life. Flender, I'm Yu Zhiagang. Flender. In an instant, 10,000 wild horses galloped past his heart. He showed a ghostly expression. A strong feeling of nausea hit from the heart. His hands were already shaking slightly. Yu Zhiagang looked at Flender in front of him. I think he must have been stunned by his own beauty. Secretly proud, he said in his own voice before. Flender, I got it because I took her along. That mutated Haoshin martial soul pill. The mutation of the clear sky hammer's martial soul caused a change in the body. I'm in pain now. 2. It's just that when he said the words very painful, the corners of his mouth curled up. The corner of Flender's mouth twitched on the opposite side. Yu Zhiagang continued, Flender, I was chosen by Lucky Star Feather again. This time the star officer challenged the refresh location. It's in the Heavendao Palace. Period. You can take me into the palace at dawn. Flender looked at the young woman in front of him. It is really impossible to connect her with Yu Zhiagang. But this voice and demeanor had to be believed. Suddenly, his eyes brightened and he thought to himself, Zhiagang, since you have become like this, then I will take care of Erlong for you from now on. Flender smiled and said, Zhiagang, do you want to tell Erlong about your affairs? Yu Zhiagang nodded and said, of course, I still have to thank Erlong. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be able to become what I am now. Flender suddenly felt sick. Why didn't I find this guy so perverted before? Think about how they once slept in the same bed together. Flender was shocked. He would not have been attacked by Yu Zhiagang a long time ago. Wuhan City, in the hall enshrinement above, on the throne the great priest Jin Daoli looked at the letter in his hand. With an excited smile, he said, Xiaoxu, she was chosen by Lucky Xingao, Sr. It seems that I still favor my angel family, otherwise, I wouldn't have given Xiaoxu such a precious lucky star feather. Xiaoxu, tomorrow you can feel at ease to accept the star official's challenge. Grandpa will help you solve the rest. After the words fell, Jin Daoliu turned into golden light and disappeared in place. Papal Palace. Above the Pope's seat, Pope Bibi Dong holding a gemstone scepter looking down at the apprentice Liena, who left with a disappointed expression, helplessly sighed and said, Nana, I didn't expect you, a little girl, to really fall in love with Senior. It's a pity that Senior has a noble status and unfathomable strength. The two of you are people from 2 worlds after all. Nana, if you can't let go of this feeling, then it may have a considerable impact on your future cultivation. Bibi Dong saw the changes in Liena in the past 2 days. Can't help but think back to myself when I was young. She didn't want her apprentice to fall in love with a man who shouldn't love like her. Bibi Dong received the message. Because Yu Zhiagang ate the mutated Haoshin martial soul pill given by Liu Erlong. a physical condition in which female characteristics develop. This worried her quite a bit. Starfeather from her bosom red lips raised a smile and said, "Since I missed the Star Officials Challenge that time, I was finally chosen by Lucky Xingaiyu again obtained Lucky Starfeather for 2 consecutive days at this time." A golden light flew from outside. Bibi Dong's hand holding the gem scepter tightened. With a cold look on his face, he said angrily, "Jin Daoliu, why did you come to the Pope's palace so late? I haven't pursued you for being in Dongaiyu soul hunting forest today. It's a crime to let a few 100,000-year soul beasts go without capturing them back to the Hall of Spirits." Jin Daoliu was not angry, and said quietly, "Bibi Dong, there are some things that can only be done after you have cultivated to level 99 soul power. You are qualified to know, the peerless Douluo on the mainland, you can't easily attack high-level soul beasts." He took out the letterhead and threw it on it. Suddenly saw the familiar handwriting on it. A happy smile appeared on his face again. Standing up with a gem scepter in hand, he said, "I didn't expect Xiaoxia to be chosen by Lucky Xingaiyu." Urgently, "Bibi Dong, could it be that you also got a lucky star feather?" Bibi Dong smiled coldly, took out Lucky Xingaiyu and played with it. Out of the corner of his eye, he saw Jin Daoliu, whose expression changed drastically, and he was panic-stricken. The smile on the red lips was deeper and colder. Starluo Empire, Starluo Palace. Emperor Xingluo listened to Dime Yubei and Zhu Zhuking below report on the Star Officer Challenge. Cheerful and excited. "I didn't expect a miraculous Star Official Challenges uploaded from the mainland these days." It turned out to be true. Davis and Zhu Zhuing beside them were extremely shocked. The two looked at each other and stepped out. Davis said, "Report to Father, I am willing to go to Heaven Dao Empire with Zhuing, investigate the matter about the Star Officials Challenge, and relieve Father and Emperor's worries." Dime Yubei and Zhu Zhuking showed anxiety, and they stepped forward quickly. Dime Yubei quickly said, "Father, Zhuking and I are one of the 7 Shrek monsters and students of Shrek Academy. It's more suitable for us to go to the Heaven Dao Empire than the Emperor's brother and the Emperor's wife." Davis's eyes widened with anger, and he was about to go mad at Dime Yubei. The two sisters Zhu Zhuking and Zhu Zhuing also looked down on each other coldly. Starluo Emperor Dai Xiangxing above said, "Father is still in good health, enough to stabilize the empire. Then you all set off for the Heaven Dao Empire together. It would be great if I could get the qualification to accept the Star Officials Challenge. My father has a premonition that an unprecedented big change is about to take place in the Douluo Continent. At that time, we can only rely on you two brothers." Seeing Dai Xiangxing's disappointed expression, Dime Yubei and Davis were both upset. The Starluo Empire has always been powerful enough to crush the Heaven Dao Empire, but because there is no support from the sect, the empire only has the title Douluo. Emperor Xingluo has been in a passive state. The situation is very bad. Half an hour later, 2 carriages marked with Starluo Empire drove out go to the Heaven Dao Empire through 2 different official roads. P.S. The first update, 1/5, I found that some readers in the comment area said that the author has a strong taste. Ahem, but it was actually suggested by readers in the group, so I wrote it like this because I felt good. In addition, the relationship between Dime Yubei and Davis, Zhu Zhuking and Zhu Zhuing should be relaxed at this point in the original book, but it can only be written like this for the needs of the plot. Chapter 50. The Adventure Challenge starts. Liena goes. Dime Yubei, Yu Guan and other elders cooperate with Jin Ringsu to execute the plan. Heaven Dao Empire, Heaven Dao Palace. On the martial arts arena at this time, there are a large number of guards from the Royal Forest Army, every Imperial Forest Army body. They all exuded a cold-killing atmosphere. Obviously, it has been practiced on the battlefield and through life and death. Period. At this time, golden light filled the air. A huge arena descended here. The sacred and mysterious aura surged in all directions. In an instant, the countless royal guards near the martial arts field were alarmed. Beat the drum to inform the whole palace. Immediately afterwards, hordes of Royal Forest Army surrounded the arena. Didn't bother, it's time, let's call it a day. He turned and walked towards the compartment. Push open the door and enter. At this time, a system notification sounded in Lin Feng's mind. Feathers. Each time the host hosts an adventure challenge, reward for playing Star Official for 10 years is reduced by 1 day, and reward Star Official is worth 10 points. In order to enrich and satisfy the host's life experience in the Douluo Continent for the next 10 years, the Star Official store is opened, and the initial Star Official value is 10 points. The specific content of this update is for the host to figure out by himself. The next update time. The host has played the role of Star Official for the 10th day in total. I wish the host a happy life. Goodbye. Lin Feng looked at a lot of things that appeared in his mind. There was no reaction for a while. There were originally only a few tens of meters of cubicles around. With a surge of golden light, it becomes a modern house with 3 bedrooms and 1 living room. Didn't have time to pay attention to the information in his mind. Quickly walked out of the room. It was found that the living room and the other 2 rooms were also empty, with nothing. His face turned black. Be purchased by consuming Star Official points in the Star Official shop. This requires the host to open adventure challenges for lucky people every day, and one person can get 10 Star Officer points. Curiously, Lin Feng opened the Star Official store. There are various types of things found in it. Food, clothes, furniture, mobile phones, snacks, adult products and more. Only unexpected, nothing impossible to buy. Smiled and said, "It seems that I want to make this place feel like home. There is a long way to go. Earn Star Official value. I really didn't expect that, after playing the role of Star Official for 5 days, so many new tricks will be updated. What the hell is this adventure challenge?" Lin Feng carefully studied the detailed analysis of the adventure challenge. It was found that the content was different except for the challenge. Other aspects are similar to the Star Official challenge. Those who come to accept the challenge of adventure, there are 2 types to choose from. One is exposure adventure, one is challenge adventure. Exposure adventures, it is to expose an unknown secret in oneself. The system is based on the effect, degree and other aspects of exposure. Give ratings and rewards. Challenge adventure, that is, the system randomly issues a challenge. Task is to increase my workload in disguise. Fortunately, every time you host an adventure challenge, it can reduce the time of playing Star Official by 1 day, at the same time get 10 Star Officer points. With rewards, it's not a waste of overtime. Lin Feng probably finished understanding the content of this update. 3 sky blue adventure star feathers appeared in his hand. The blue light condenses the names of 3 people, ghosts, Liena, Daimube. Then, the 3 adventure star feathers disappeared. Lin Feng sat heavily on the bed. Looking at the empty room, I panicked. So open the Star Official store. I spent 1 Star Official value to buy a few wooden chairs. Because you can't afford anything else. He deliberately clicked on the food section and couldn't help drooling. Ended up purchasing a BJ's roast duck. A roasted whole lamb from Inner Mongolia. A serving of Jiangsu salted water duck. Points were spent. I also bought a set of tableware and a wooden table. It took another 2 Star Officer points. Start him the first meal after coming to Douluo Continent. With this systematic transformation of the body, he has already been fasted, but you can eat these modern delicacies. It is also to let his lonely heart in a foreign country get some comfort. Heaven Dao Palace. Inside the Emperor's bedroom, Emperor Ziyi learned that the Star Official challenged the ring after appearing in Xian Dao Palace. He was very excited. He is extremely eager for the Shaoyin pill that can increase his lifespan. Decided to visit the Star Official tomorrow in person. Come and meet this legendary man. Not long after. About the Star Official challenge arena. The news of appearing in Xian Dao Palace spread. Personnel from various forces went there overnight. I hope to witness the magic of the Star Official challenge. Witness the birth of various miracle rewards. Wuhan City, the Saint's bedroom pajamas. Showing a pair of slender, fair legs. The pajamas are as thin as a cicada's wing. You can vaguely see the smooth and delicate skin inside like suet white jade. It is so beautiful. Period. It's just that she bit her lips lightly at this time. There was a look of disappointment in his eyes. His face was in a daze. Suddenly, the space in front of Liena's eyes was torn apart. A feather exuding sky blue light appeared. She froze at first. Immediately shouted in surprise, "Lucky Star Feather!" Sat up from the bed tremblingly. He stretched out his hand and took the blue feather in his hand. The next moment, a man's majestic voice sounded in her mind. Those who have won the Adventure Star Feather can rush to the Heaven Dao Palace to accept the Adventure Challenge before tomorrow's time, and the Adventure Star Feather will disappear automatically. Liena reacted with surprise on her face. Looking at the Adventure Star Feather in his hand, murmured, "Isn't it Lucky Zingayu? Is it Adventure Zingayu? What the hell is Adventure Star Feather? It doesn't matter. I'm finally able to meet Senior tomorrow. So happy, I have to hurry up and get some pastries." Liena hurriedly got out of bed and changed her clothes. After that, go to the kitchen to prepare the pastry and head to the Pope's palace. Inside the Papal Palace, above the Pope's seat, Pope Bibi Dong stared at Ghost Douluo Giga with a shocked expression. The feather that appeared in his hand exudes sky blue light. The breath is exactly the same as the Lucky Star Feather I got, only the color is different. Bibi Dong said with a smile, "Elder Ghost, since you have obtained the Adventure Star Feather, then go to Heaven Dao Palace with me and accept the challenge." Let Yuguan and the others do what's planned. Ghost smiled excitedly. Shouted, obey, His Excellency the Pope. At this time, Liena walked into the Pope's palace. There was a smile on her delicate cheeks, obviously in a good mood. Meet the teacher, I have. After Liena saluted, she wanted to report the adventure of Xingyu, but he found that Ghost was holding an adventure star feather in his hand. His face was slightly astonished, and then he said excitedly, Grandpa Ghost, it turns out that you were also chosen by Adventure Star Feather. As she spoke, she took out her Adventure Star Feather on the Pope's throne. Bibi Dong walked down holding the gem scepter. When Liena walked into the Pope's palace, she was all smiles. She didn't seem to be depressed these 2 days, so she couldn't help but wonder. Unexpectedly, she actually got the Adventure Star Feather. Nana, you are lucky, chosen by Adventure Star Feather. Then follow Elder Ghost and me to the Heavendao Palace. By Xingyu the adventurer. Bibi Dong shook her head and smiled, and said, what I got is lucky star feather. It seems that Senior still cares about Wuhun very much. 3 places were given at once. She looked at Liena and said with a playful smile, Nana, there is still some time. Hurry up and make some pastries for seniors. Liena smiled, took out the food box and patted it prepared. Bibi Dong nodded in satisfaction and said, okay, then let's go. Destination: Heavendao Palace. This time, we must get a high rating reward, increase the strength of my Wuhan Hall and raise my prestige. Ever since, the 3 left the Pope's palace flying in the direction of the Heavendao Empire's Heavendao City. Late at night, ugly time Yuguan and ghost leopards, devil bears, sea turtles, etc. the 4 titled Douluo elders of the spirit while wearing black night clothes. He came outside the Heavendao Palace. Action. With the order of the moon past, the 4 put on black masks, sneak into the Heavendao Palace, and go straight to the prince's bedroom. P.S. The second update, February 5th. Chapter 51. The prince's bedroom was washed with blood. Liu Erlong was completely collapsed by Yu Zia Gang, and entered the palace to Bibi Dong Jinring Su. No, there are assassins. Protect His Highness the Crown Prince. Protect His Highness the Crown Prince. The Imperial Army gathers. Hurry up and inform Commander Zio. Go. Heavendao Palace. In the prince's bedroom in the middle of the night, 4 men in black broke and discovered by the Imperial Army under the encirclement and suppression of tens of thousands of Imperial Forest Army. The men in black not only broke through the siege, knocked out and took Prince Zhu King away, he also used powerful soul skills to bloodbath thousands of Imperial Forest troops. As a result, the entire prince's bedroom was bloody. The whole palace was alarmed. When Emperor Zhu arrived, all he saw was the mountain of corpses in the prince's bedroom. Blood stained the ground red. There was a strong smell of blood. It was blown by the breeze and spread to the entire palace. Emperor Zhu had an old face. The end is here. Zhu, Great Emperor Longian, was furious, waved his sleeves and said, pass my order, immediately seal off Heavendao City, send out all the Imperial Forest Army to rescue the prince. Majesty. Immediately, he left the prince's bedroom in a panic. At this time, 2 figures in the distance flew quickly. Lin Feng, greeting your majesty. After Uncle Gu and I heard the news that the prince was attacked, come here as soon as possible. Lin Feng looked at the prince's bedroom, which was like a hell on earth. After landing, he quickly walked towards Emperor Zhu. Worried about asking, dare to ask your majesty, where is King? The anger on Emperor Zhu's face dissipated a little. Period. Sighing in pain, said, Sect Master Ning, King was captured by an assassin. Douluo Gurong came back from the pile of corpses after inspecting them. With a serious face, he said, report to your majesty, the soul skill used by the assassin, it's very similar to the Star Luo Empire's system. Of course, this is just my guess. Which faction sent the assassin? We need to continue to investigate. Emperor Zhu's eyes were already bloodshot. The majesty of the emperor is exuded from the body. Zhenxing said angrily, no matter what force it is, how dare you send assassins to wash the palace with blood, forcibly taking the prince away? I will make him pay a heavy price. Douluo, those 4 assassins brought King. I'm sure I won't be able to run far. And I need to trouble you to make a move, assist the Imperial Forest Army in rescuing King and capture the assassin. Gurong nodded and said in a deep voice, don't worry, your majesty, I will do my best. Ning Fengzi followed up and said, your majesty, then I will go with Uncle Gu. Emperor Zhu nodded and replied, okay. Immediately afterwards, Gurong immediately left the palace with Lin Feng's star officials challenged the ring. The mood of joy turned extremely bad. The junction of the Heaven Dao Empire and the Star Luo Empire. A galloping carriage stopped suddenly. Dime Yubei held a feather that exuded sky blue light in his hand with a happy expression on his face. He looked at Zhu Xiuqing, who was beside him, with an excited look. He said, Xiuqing, I was chosen by the adventurer Xingyu. Although this star feather is not a lucky star feather, but you can also go to the Heaven Dao Palace and accept the adventure challenge. Zhu Xiuqing was sincerely happy for this man. With a smile on his lips, he said, Mu Bei, congratulations, we are about to enter the territory of the Heaven Dao Empire. Hurry up. Dai Mu Bei nodded, and said okay. Then the carriage moved again. Destination Heaven Dao Palace. Overnight, the entire Heaven Dao Empire exploded. The Heaven Dao Empire has declined in recent years. But after all, the Millennium Foundation has a profound foundation. Unexpectedly, there are forces who dare to send assassins. Blood washed the prince's palace and took the prince away. This move is really deliberately smearing the face of the Xian Dao imperial family. As the saying goes, the majesty of an emperor cannot be humiliated. The wrath of the emperor laid down millions of corpses, and blood flowed like rivers. War is inevitable. Heaven Dao City Shrek Academy. Dean's office. Liu Erlong looked at the person in front of him who was wearing silk skirt. She looks like a young woman in her 20s. There is absolutely no way to associate him with Yu Zaigang, especially seeing the hands of the other party pinching the orchid fingers. Slender. The figure is plump and upturned, completely more feminine than himself. Liu Erlong immediately collapsed, become sluggish, bewildered. On the other side of the sofa, Flender was talking endlessly. Erlong, that's probably the case. Now you should always believe that he is Zaigang, right? Liu Erlong nodded in confusion. Then shook his head again. She couldn't accept it anyway. A man whom I have loved for many years will become a woman now, but the matter has come to this. I can only accept my fate, but I really don't blame you, Erlong. Liu Erlong was held by this pair of soft female hands. Even though he knew that the other party was Yu Zaigang, he still felt conflicted in his heart. Can get a B+ rating reward? At that time, I will definitely choose the fruit of changing gender, so that you can become a man again. Yu Zaigang frowned, with some resistance in his heart. He has already enjoyed the feeling of being a beautiful woman surrounded by stars. Enjoy the perks of being a woman. I don't want to be a man at all. Bottom of his heart. In order to avoid Liu Erlong and Flender, Yu Zaigang regards himself as a pervert. He could only smile and nod and say, Erlong, I believe in you. It's almost time now. Let's set off and enter the palace. Liu Erlong nodded and said okay. Flender also got up, and said with a solemn face, last night, an assassin bloodbathed the prince's bedroom and took his royal highness away. The entire Heaven Dao city is now heavily guarded, and the situation is complicated. If we want to enter the palace at this time, I'm afraid there will be a lot of trouble. When the three of them came to the gate of Shrek Academy, seeing Ma Hongjin running over with a mournful face, Dean Flender and Erlong, I really didn't know that the Golden Monument reward needed to go to the challenge arena to receive the prize. My reward for a B+ rating yesterday was revoked just like that. When Flender heard this, he was furious. Walked over and grabbed the little fat man by the ear, reprimanded, Ma Hongjin, you are a guy who has more success than failure. These days I only know how to fool around with female students. It's unreasonable to miss the golden steel reward. I think you will die in a woman's belly sooner or later. Ma Hongjin grinned in pain. He could only keep begging for mercy and crying, saying, Dean Flender, I know I was wrong, just forgive me this time. Yu Zaigang next to him couldn't stand it. He walked over and said worriedly, Flender, stop quickly. Ma Hongjin definitely didn't do it on purpose. Just let him stop being confused next time. Seeing Yu Zaigang approaching, Flender retreated subconsciously towards Liu Erlong. Yu Zaigang rubbed Ma Hongjin's ears affectionately. With a gentle and concerned voice, he said, Ma Hongjin, are you okay? Ma Hongjin didn't expect it to be the beauty from last night. Deliberately holding her hand tightly, he looked at Flender, sneered secretly. Looking embarrassed on the surface, he said to Liu Erlong, Erlong, look at the two of them. Liu Erlong saw Ma Hongjin holding Yu Zaigang's hand. Yu Zaigang not only did not resist, but also showed a satisfied expression that only women can see. Her three views were instantly shattered. A sense of extreme disgust rose from the bottom of my heart for this man. Liu Erlong is 100% sure. If she can really get the sex fruit at night, Yu Zaigang would never choose to take it. Don't waste time, leave to the palace immediately. After Liu Erlong said coldly, He got into a carriage. Flender hurriedly followed. Ma Hongjin dragged Yu Zhigang into another carriage driven by 2 students. It drove in the direction of Xiandao Palace. In the carriage, Flender looked at Liu Erlong with a cold face beside him. Know that the female Tyrannosaur is about to go berserk. Suddenly regretted getting into this carriage very much, but when he saw Ma Hongjin and Yu Zhigang close together in another carriage feeling sick for a while, he expressed great sympathy for Ma Hongjin. Half an hour later the carriage came to the gate of the palace, and the 4 got out of the car for a body search. Then walk into the palace, walk towards the martial arts arena. Along the way, the imperial palace is full of imperial guards who are urgently investigating. Everywhere is shrouded in a cold atmosphere. Soon, a group of people came to the martial arts field. It was found that there were only a few hundred people gathered around the arena. This is the Heavendao Palace after all. Anyone who can enter here. They must all be people of a certain status. Flender saw that the futon in the center of the ring was empty. Looking at Liu Erlong, he said, "Senior hasn't appeared yet, let's wait here for a while." Liu Erlong glanced at Ma Hongjin and Yu Zhigang who were whispering. With a cold snort, he walked to the other side, out of sight and out of mind. However, at this moment, 2 powerful tidal Douluo breaths came from a distance. The Imperial Forest Army that alarmed the entire palace. It was Bibi Dong, Liena, and the ghostly Jinringsu who came together. P.S. Chapter 3, 3/5. Chapter 52, Bibi Dong Liu Erlong confronts each other, wants to see Ma Hongjin make a fool of himself. Jinringsu launches an attack challenge. Ringsu awakened her martial soul at the age of 6. He was sent to the Heavendao Empire as an undercover agent, and a few years later, he successfully killed the first Prince Zhu King, take his place as the eldest prince of the Xiandao imperial family. Later, several princes were removed one after another. Only poor conduct and extravagance remain. Avalanche, the 4th prince, who is difficult to take on the big job. He was appreciated by Emperor Zhu Yi and became the crown prince of the Heavendao Empire among the various forces in Douluo Continent. Only the 2 great empires can make the Wuhan Hall fearful. Jinringsu is the secret weapon hidden in the Heavendao Empire by the Hall of Spirits. When the time is right, they will be able to gain control of the Heavendao Empire. In one fell swoop as Jinringsu, she went to accept the challenge of the star official. There will be a great possibility that the identity will be exposed. So we can only let the elders of Wuhan Hall come forward to perform a play. Blood washed the prince's bedroom, and kidnapped the Prince Zhu King. It even used soul skills similar to those of the Star Luo Empire. If this can provoke the conflict between the 2 empires, that would be great. Jinringsu could also take advantage of this opportunity. As the Wuhan side, accept the star official's challenge. It's just that she never thought of it. Bibi Dong will be selected by Lucky Xingyu just like herself. Deep down in Jinringsu's heart, she loved and hated this woman. I didn't expect it, except for Lucky Xingyu. Now there is an additional adventure star feather. Both Liena and Ghost got it after a while. It was wrapped by Bibi Dong's soul power. Take Liena to the martial arts arena of the Heavendao Palace. The golden wings disappeared behind Jinringsu and came behind Bibi Dong. The ghost restrained the tidal Douluo's soul power and stood by. The next moment, a large number of royal forest army surrounded the 4 of them. A man's anxious voice came from a distance and said, "Everyone step back, don't be rude to the Pope." When all the guards heard this voice, their faces froze slightly. They retreated one after another, and a man in purple pattern armor stepped forward. "Homage to His Majesty the Pope. I don't know why His Majesty the Pope brought people to the palace today." Bibi Dong looked around the audience with majestic eyes. When she saw Liu Erlong in the distance, there was a flash of killing intent. Looking at Commander Zhao again, he shouted coldly, "That is naturally to accept the challenge of the star official. Is it possible that you want to stop me?" After the words fell, she held the gem scepter in her hand. There was a heavy column of ground, and the powerful momentum knocked Commander Zhao back a few steps. Commander Zhao stabilized his body, turned pale, shook his head hastily and shouted, "Her Majesty the Pope, calm down. I don't intend to offend you, no offense." Immediately, he turned around and trod away in embarrassment. He shouted at the Imperial Forest Army next to him, "Go and report to Emperor Zhu Yi." "Yes, Commander Zhao." An Imperial Forest Army received an order to leave here as quickly as possible. Bibi Dong cleaned up the garbage holding the gem scepter in hand. He walked towards the edge of the ring. Jinringsu, Liena, and Ghost closely. The people nearby were all shocked by Bibi Dong's fierce method just now. All of them looked terrified, and retreated in another direction away from Bibi Dong for fear of offending this terrible woman. She will suffer. When Bibi Dong passed in front of Liu Erlong, seeing Flender fawning over this woman, she stopped and said with a sneer, "Liu Erlong, Yu Zhigang is not here. Period. You hooked up with another man. It really surprised me. Yu Zhigang's vision is not very good. Bibi Dong finished speaking the last word. Casting contemptuous glances at Liu Erlong, he ignored her and walked towards the ring. Liu Er held his hands in front of him in a dragon spirit. The eyes were fierce, and the soul power surged in his body whispered, Erlong, calm down, don't provoke her, neither Shrek Academy nor Blue Lightning Overlord Dragon Sect can bear this pressure. Liu Erlong became even angrier when he heard these words. She is a straightforward, jealous person. In the end, Bibi Dong's dissatisfaction and anger could only be vented on Flender. Poor Flender screamed in pain, not an opponent at all. At this moment, how much he wished that Yu Zhigang could recover his male body in that way. The person tortured by the female Tyrannosaurus will not be me. Yu Zhigang looked at Flender sympathetically. It's normal for him to stay with Liu Erlong and wear some colorful hair on his body every day. Ma Hongjin was after Bibi Dong came to the martial arts arena, keeping his head down all the time with a look of panic. He clearly remembered how terrifying Bibi Dong was in Wuhun City 3 years ago. Worried about being targeted, he doesn't have the title Daddy Douluo, unlike Tang San. At this time, Yu Zhigang's face became serious. He suddenly thought that if he stepped into the ring to accept the challenge from the star officials later, then it will definitely reveal its identity. Gender change is bound to be laughed at. In the future, it will be difficult for both identities to raise their heads. Could it be that I really want to waste this chance to accept the star officer's challenge? Hongjin tenderly, a charming smile appeared on the corner of his mouth. I made a decision in my heart, just keep being a woman. Abandon the tree of Liu Erlong. He can get a large forest on the ring. In the compartment, Lin Feng woke up from the big white bed looking at the empty everything in the room. Get up and cheer yourself up. A new day. Earn star official points. Buy private property. Decorate the house. Enjoy the food. After a brief wash, he opened the door and went out. It was found that the area around the arena today was unusually quiet. In the past, there were tens of thousands of people at every turn. Today, there are only a few hundred or 200 people. Lin Feng walked to the center of the ring and sat down on the futon. Then I saw 4 people standing in front of the ring. They are Bibi Dong, Liena, and Ghost. There is also a golden shawl, beautiful and noble. A young woman who faintly exudes the soul power of an angel in her body. This woman should be Jin Daoliu's granddaughter, Bibi Dong's daughter, Jin Ringsu, pretending to be the Heaven Dao Crown Prince Zhu King. I didn't expect that she would actually dare to accept the Star Officer's challenge. Lin Feng secretly looked at Jin Ringsu. His eyes looked at Liu Erlong and Flender and Ma Hongjin. The woman with fingers intertwined. Suddenly, the corner of his mouth twitched. Damn it, Yu Zhigang has turned into a woman? Could it be the reason for taking the mutated Haoshin martial soul pill that Liu Erlong got last time? Hiss. Ma Hongjin, your taste is really strong. Even Yu Zhigang is going to do it. Thinking of this, Lin Feng smiled wickedly, a look of fear that the world will not be chaotic. He was looking forward to it. Wait for Yu Zhigang to come up to accept the Star Official Challenge. After Ma Hongjin knew his identity, what expression would he have? Lin Feng said slowly, Jin Ringsu, Bibi Dong, Yu Zhigang, since you are all here, come up and accept the Star Officer's Challenge. Wait first to accept the Adventure Challenge. As soon as these words came out, Bibi Dong's face under the ring changed slightly. She quickly released her soul power to investigate, but failed to find Yu Zhigang's location. Zhigang, are you avoiding me on purpose? Bibi Dong looked indifferent on the surface, secretly sad in her heart. The surrounding soul masters were all shocked. Unexpectedly, Yu Zhigang would be selected by Lucky Xingyu again. You must know that the entire Xiangdao Empire has been buzzing in the past 2 days. Yu Zhigang had a problem with his body laughed out of his teeth. On the other hand, everyone did not expect today's star officials to challenge personnel. There will be 2 places in the Wuhundian faction. One of them is still in the hands of Pope Bibi Dong. Seeing that no one was on the stage, Jin Ringsu glanced at Bibi Dong with an unnatural expression. Under the watchful eyes of all the soul masters, he stepped onto the ring step by step. Immediately there was an uproar and cheers. Her appearance is noble and beautiful, as if born with it, like a goddess who cannot be profaned. Liu Erlong looked at Jin Ringsu, who was on the stage. Frowning, her intuition told her that this woman definitely had a lot to do with Bibi Dong. Yu Zhigang also stared at Jin Ringsu. His eyes wandered between her and Bibi Dong, and his palms were tightly clenched. Ma Hongjin tugged Yu Zhigang's little hand at the same time. While looking at the big beauty on the ring, he swallowed. Wow, what a Beautiful woman, this appearance, temperament, figure, simply invincible. It would be great if you could be my Ma Hongjin's girlfriend. He couldn't help but lick his lips. When Yu Zhigang noticed that trick, he grabbed the flesh around his waist with his hands slightly condensed eyes. He saluted respectfully and said, Jin Ringsu, pay my respects to senior. I'm here to accept the Star Officer's challenge. Lin Feng nodded calmly and said, take out the lucky star feather you got and inject soul power. I will start the Star Official Challenge for you. Jin Ringsu lightly and said, yes, senior. She took out lucky star feather and injected it with soul power with a dazzling golden light flying into the air. The word attack appeared. Lin Feng looked at the woman in front of him and said, end of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.